Sandra all the time is here with a cold heart true. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama, call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, calling Sandra.
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth telling, more problem solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. Good morning, K-Man. Happy Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday. Oh my God. Once again, the week went by so quickly. I'm just like, what day is it? Hope everybody's having a fantastic week. I'm just sending out the links here in just a second. Hang tight. Coming your way. Don't forget, join the channel. Good morning, Instagram, folks. Oh my gosh. All sorts of breaking news just logged on. And I see there's a press conference going on. They found somebody in Virginia that they say is a gangster. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. We know, you guys know we like to keep you guys updated in terms of what's happening, not just here in Cayman, but quite frankly, all over the world. I've got an update for you on a story that we did. We do have a guest. We're going to bring her in early because she has a stop time that we need to make sure that we respect. You know, busy professionals, when they come in the program, we like to respect their time. So we're going to bring her here in just a second and do that interview first. But then I do have an update for you guys on the man that is said to be roaming around Honduras. Oh my gosh, what a thing. So stay tuned for that. I'll bring you that after a guess. And then we're going to talk a little bit about politics. Oh, Lord have mercy. And, you know, other things, other topical things. So good morning to one and good morning to all. Miss Melita, I see you sneaking into the classroom. I see you. Come to the front of the class, honey child. I know you're going to enjoy today's program. We've got Shaka Zulu in the house. Miss Lucille joining us from the UK. Miss Lucille, I hope you're feeling better today. She's been a little bit under the weather. So I've been keeping you in my prayers. So I do hope that you feel better. And we've got Evelyn here with us as well. And Miss Jean is here. Abby, beautiful Abby. How you doing, honey child? And who else? We got Cece McLaughlin just joined us, just popped in. And already we're well over 100 people on the live stream. And I know you guys are waking up. And as I send out the link, more and more of you will be jumping on. And I do see, once again today, Facebook playing a little bit of a trick on me. It's not on the main page, so I'm going to post that there as well so that it's easier for those of you, because I think some of you just go straight to Facebook every morning. And the last couple of months, they've been a bit strange in terms of what's been going on there. So, you know, yes. And we're going to talk about the interview with Miss Marla as well, because there's some interesting developments there. All right, everybody ready to rock and roll, honey child? Let's get it. Guess who we have in the studio today? Kay Mannion, beautiful, smart, very intelligent. and we always enjoy having her on the program. So let us welcome Miss Nichelle Scott. Good morning.
Morning, Sandy. I should ask you to do introductions for me anytime I have to speak. You're awesome.
Oh my goodness. Look, I dressed up for you today with some very colorful colors. I
I
felt
dressed
like
up for you too.
I know I love the blue. I felt like I needed a rainbow of colors today. And you're always so positive. I mean, you're like infectious. I know you've had your coffee though, because I know
I
you're
have not. I came off of coffee for the week because
what?
yeah, it was stressing me out. So I switched to
Oh
tea.
my
I'm on tea today.
oh wow. You see, I
It's
know
not the norm for me. You know I'm a coffee addict, but
no, I was gonna say I've
you
had
know
the
when things
privilege
start
of
breaking.
traveling with Nichelle on 2 trips now, two of the
hmm
chamber trips, and I can tell you, don't talk to her in the mornings before she's had her coffee, because that's when she's like, "Arr."
True story. True story.
And here I was thinking you had your coffee already. OMG. All right. Well, good, good, good. I've got tea here as well. I'm not a coffee drinker. And I'm barely a tea drinker some mornings because every morning Miss Stacy comes in here. She's like, why is the teacup still full? So I'm trying to drink water
Yeah.
and tea, trying to keep it to that. But yes, thank you so much for joining us. Let me see how your volume is on the radio. Any complaints?
I was
I'm going
going
to
to
boost
ask
it.
you. So
Yeah.
my mic died on my computer somewhere
Okay, I'm
between
going to
last
boost
night
it up
and this
just a
morning.
little bit. I do have to start giving people tips as they log on. It's a pet peeve for Denny. He's like, you need to tell them how to boost themselves. And I'm like, all right, Denny, that's on my list. I have a whole list of things to do. At the moment, I'm into decluttering my house, getting ready for spring. Oh my goodness, it's always something. But thank you so much for joining us, Nichelle. And of course, if you guys don't know who this young lady is, she actually works with Caribbean Utilities Company, and she is the director and customer service and external communications manager as well. So that's why you see her on here quite a bit, bringing us news and information that is very, very topical. So, Nichelle, today is what day is it? It's the 27th of March. We're almost at the end of March. Now, I know I mentioned spring, but really, I feel like we go from summer to summer here. It's just,
Freeze to summer. There's no in between.
yes. Yeah. I mean, it
That's
cools down for a
exactly why
little
I'm
bit.
here.
We feel a couple days that are cooler and we're like, oh my God, this feels good. And then the heat is here and I'm already feeling it. Like I go outside, I'm like,
hmm
ooh, it's gonna be another hot, scorching summer. So I like that you guys try to get ahead of it because listen, how long have you been at CUC now? Donkey years?
17 years and
Oh my
counting.
oh my goodness, 17 years. So
Hey,
she knows for the past 17 years, you guys are like a Netflix series, right? 17 seasons, and every time you act like you've never seen episode one. So it's going to be the same thing. You guys are going to start complaining about the heat, which means that your CUC bills are going to go up. And Nichelle, pat me on the back this morning because a couple months ago, I want to do a big shout out to Polar Bear. They came and did an inspection on all of my units. And they said to me, Sandy, these units are aging. They're not as efficient. I think one had like a freon leak or something. And they're like, you really should consider replacing these sooner rather than later because this is impacting your utility bill. I was like, oh, that might be one of the reasons why it's so high. I mean, I know I use a lot, but they said, yeah, these are not as efficient. You need higher sears. You need, just greater efficiency. And, as they age and start to have problems, it is the unit works harder to even be able to cool the place.
correct.
So I took their advice, had to save up a few pennies. I took their advice and I replaced our condenser units. And can I tell you, I saw like a 50%. And I'm not saying it's just that, but the bill dropped over 50%. And I'm sure that that was a
It'll
huge
play a
contributing
big
factor.
role.
Yeah.
And you're spot
So,
on, Sandy. The exact reason we're here, well, I'm here today,
yeah.
is because every April when the bills come out,
Mhm.
we start seeing customers saying, "What have you done, CUC? Why is my bill so high?" So it's usually either April or May.
Mhm.
I have a slide in there that shows the temperature in Grand Cayman, the average temperature.
Let me see if I
Um,
can find it. Yes, this is
and
history. Oops, I think I just had.
That one. So
Ah,
March isn't even the hottest month, right? So by the time we get to July and August, I think
mhm,
everyone's just frustrated. But usually when people get their bills in April, it's that first warmer month and they see
mhm,
a jump in their bill and their question is what's going on. And I think this year it's a really great year to have that conversation because rates are lower. So
mhm,
fuel rates are the lowest they've been in the last 12 months. Well, not quite. I think there was one that was lower in like January. But
mhm,
since January, rates have been going down. So if you see, that your bill has gone up when you get it next week,
mhm,
it's not because rates have gone up, because the rates for March are actually lower than the rates for February. So it means you've consumed more electricity. It's hotter outside, right? So if you're using air conditioning, you're going to consume more electricity. So that's why I want to talk about energy efficiency, consumption, what leads to that consumption.
mhm, mhm. Yep. Well, we're here for it because, yeah, like I said, I know for a fact that at night I feel the need to like turn the air conditioning down a little bit cooler already. And it's like, oh, like you
Yes.
said, it's not really that hot yet. It's definitely going to get hotter. Shaka Zulu says, Auntie Sandy, that's a CMR effect that makes folks perk up without the need for coffee boost, laughing out loud. Oh my gosh. Oh, can I tell you something about the whole LOL thing? Elizabeth, I don't know if she's listening yet this morning, but she makes me chuckle because every time she has like a laughing out loud moment, she just says LOL. Like in the middle of conversation, she'll be like,
Oh,
oh my
she
God.
says it like not typing.
Yeah, yeah. Like, no, in conversation, like if she's
I
talking
get
to
it.
me,
I get it.
she'll be like, oh my goodness, LOL. And it's just so
Well,
funny.
the
I love
teenagers
it.
do that too, and I don't think they say LOL. I think they say LOL.
Oh, have I
Yeah.
ever heard her say lol? But I definitely have heard her say LOL. And I just laugh because I think it's so hilarious. All right. So fuel cost.
Yes.
This is real-time fuel costs from March of
Yes.
2024 to March of 2025. Thank you for the updated slides, by the way. I love it.
Good.
So this demonstrates that fuel costs have pretty much gone down.
Yeah. So you see that
Okay.
13 for March, sorry.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and for January, I mean, if you look at the other months, there are no 13s in sight. There's
Mm,
17, there's 16, there's 15, but
yes.
we're all the way down to the 13s, which is fantastic. So this information is on our website. It's on the
Mhm.
CUC website. So if people want to budget and be able to see, okay, well, how much is fuel cost and how is that going to impact my bill? They can check that at any time. We try to be very careful to make sure to post this before the month starts so that
Right.
you can budget and understand how fuel is going to impact your bills.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful picture today. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful picture.
Yeah. So let me just understand this, right? So you've got fuel cost, $1 per kilowatt hour, fuel duty. So you breaking it down for us, which is good.
Hmm.
And then renewable cost charge. And then on the bill, does all of that get added up together? Is that also separated on the bill?
It's all separated on the
They're
bill
all
as well.
separated. Wow,
Hmm.
very transparent. All right.
We try.
So obviously the duty is based on the fuel cost dollar amount, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then the renewable
Well, no,
cost.
no, no. So the
Oh,
duty is actually
sorry.
based on the amount of gallons we use. I apologize.
Okay.
So it's charged per gallon.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
It's a rate
gotcha.
per gallon.
All right. And then the renewable charge, that's not a fixed amount. So how does that or why does that fluctuate?
So that's based on the amount of energy produced by our the rooftop solar that customers have, like you,
Uh-huh.
and how much we pay to those customers. We pass that cost on.
Oh,
No markup. We don't profit from that, or from the solar farm. So we also purchase energy from the solar farm. So how much the systems produce varies from
uh-huh.
month to month, right? Because if there's a lot of cloud
Right.
cover, they produce less. So then
Yeah.
there may be less that we purchase. So
Right.
that's why that
And I mean,
changes.
it's not very much. I do hear people complaining about it, but when I'm looking at it, 0.005485. That's like
Oh, but we shouldn't
nothing.
complain about this. This is what we're hoping will replace the fuel cost line item.
Yes.
So right now, fuel, we have to buy that every month and it's at
Mhm.
market price, right? It varies significantly. There's no stability. Whereas with
Mm.
the solar costs, if we can get well-priced contracts, that's
Mhm.
going to be the price, with very little fluctuation over a 20-year period. Do you know
Wow.
what that means for us?
Oh my gosh.
So much
Savings, big
easier to
savings.
budget and savings. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's fantastic. I mean, we'll still have the fluctuations because of the temperature. So
right.
I want to stress that.
Yeah.
But it makes
But
it a
it's
lot
it's like
easier.
half the price. It's even less than half, right? Because point
Well,
zero zero five.
at this point, we don't have
Yeah.
a lot of energy coming from
Yeah.
renewables. So
Okay.
that's why it's so small, right?
Oh, I see.
We're in the range of 3%. We would love to get that much higher and align with the national energy policy
Mhm.
requirements. So we want to get to that 70% range. But as you
Mhm.
can imagine, that takes time. And
Mm.
also it's subject to OFREG, right? So OFREG issues a competition for CUC. Well, it's called an RFP, request for proposal. And CUC then has to put forward a bid as well as other competitors in order to be able to do utility scale solar. So we
Mm.
want that to go forward, whether we're successful or someone else comes with a lower bid than us. I mean, if
It
that's the case,
benefits
that's
everyone.
that's right. It benefits
Yeah.
everyone. That means lower cost energy, cleaner energy. I
Mhm.
mean, best way forward.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic.
But I
Um,
wanted to also show the temperature trends lately. So I
yeah.
have a graph there. I mean, everyone's
Mhm.
saying, "Oh, it seems so much hotter lately." That's
Mhm.
because it is. It truly is. So
Mhm.
I've left the sources on this graph. You can see 2024, it's the red line, and 2023 is the orange line. All of the other
Mhm.
lines are the other years. Isn't that
Mhm.
insane? How
Yeah.
crazy the temperature is changing? So
Mhm.
that's that's part of the reason why we're seeing increased consumption. So,
Wow.
customers for CUC
Yeah.
consume a lot compared to other Caribbean countries,
Yeah.
and some of
And
that
now,
has to do
now
with
that
the
you
heat.
say that, I'm already feeling warm, so I'm gonna adjust my AC from my phone. Here I am
That
thinking
means you
maybe,
have a smart thermostat. Sandy,
yes.
you
Oh yeah.
are like a walking CUC poster.
Yes, girl. And as soon as I start to feel cool, I turn it right back up. I'm like 78 degrees. Here we come. But yeah,
Thank you.
some mornings I've got to drop it. I don't know if it's menopause, what that extra heat is, but no, I mean every year we say it, we're like, oh my God, it feels so extra hot this year. And so this global temperature history chart demonstrates that that's not in your head for a number of different reasons. The earth is warming up. I mean, there's a whole argument around, global warming and that sort of thing. But my apologies. There's no doubt that we're seeing record global numbers for recorded history.
Yeah. This graph is from, I had to pull it up just to make sure I said it correctly. It's from the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasts. So
Mhm.
this is a complete third-party source. This is verified information. So it is getting hotter, and that means we need to change our behavior, right? And just be careful in terms of how we consume, make sure we're energy efficient.
Yeah,
Um, Makes a big difference. Oh, I have the slide
absolutely.
on there too, Sandy, that shows the impact of the energy efficiency.
Let me
So
see. Yes.
yes. So this was when we did the energy efficiency competition, and we're looking to potentially do another one, but I won't tell secrets. But basically, when we installed the spray foam, uh, the orange line
Mhm.
is where the customer started.
The
Um,
solid orange one or the dotted orange
the
one?
solid, the dotted lines are the temperature.
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
just shows you how consumption follows the temperature, right?
Ah,
So
okay.
the solid line is where the customer started, and then we installed spray foam, and they saw a decline compared to the gray, and
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
we installed an updated AC. Look at what happens to that orange line, and then look at
Mm.
the
Oh
blue
my
line, which is the
God.
next. year.
So you installed it. It says AC installed. I hope you guys can see it. 2021. And I see where you were at the mid-range between the 2000 and the 2500. And then it dipped down to 1500 and it continued to drop.
Yep.
Right above 1,000. And then the blue mark is their 2022 kilowatt per hour consumption. And look
Yep.
at how much lower that was for the entire year.
Yep.
Wow.
So because the AC was installed right there, but there were still a few pieces that we were finalizing,
Yeah.
and you can tell where it was completed, can't you?
Yeah.
So we also, what we don't have on the graph is things like switching out the water heater, a few small other items, but that AC made a massive difference to this customer's bill.
And I mean, Shannon can testify to this. She says, definitely Sandy is right about the Sears. Ever since I went to 16 Sears, my bill has been much, much lower. I even have my back door open at times for my cats, and still the bill is reasonable. So folks, this is why you want to have, make sure that your units are being serviced properly, as well as, they're as efficient as possible, because also not properly servicing your units, not changing air filters and all these other things can add to inefficiencies. So, it's money well spent. And like I said, I'm giving Polar Bear a big shout out this morning, because they actually have a very convenient plan where you sign up on an annual basis. And they'll do like the appliance side of things, but then they also have for the air conditioning servicing plans as well. So check them out. Big shout out to Brent and his team over at Polar Bear. So good morning, Gianni. So good to see you. She's giving everybody morning shout outs today. So this is quite something. And it goes to demonstrate that things can make a difference. The things that you do in your house can make a difference. Now, obviously, this project, Nichelle, is a sort of retrograding. So you go back in time and you try to fix things. What I know you guys are always trying to encourage people to do is, if you're in the market to actually build or even purchase a house, look at these things beforehand, because you can make some really smart decisions at the pre-construction stage when you're trying to decide how to position the house on your property. Like, we have the worst positioning of a house. And I mean, we didn't build it ourselves. But we're like facing the sun, like our front door and our porch gets the most sun, the front of the house. And when we first moved in, Nichelle, I tell people this sometimes, I could not sit down in my own living room and watch TV, because it also has a door that has those panels in it. And the sun was radiating through the door. You could touch it and feel the temperature, right? It was so hot. So we had to, tint that, not once, but 3 times, because that's how much sun was coming.
Or some sheetrock.
Yeah.
Did you do that, Sandy? Did you do foam?
We have concrete walls, so.
You can do it, girl. You can still put it on top.
I don't know. But anyway, I did what I could. So I did the tankless propane heater. I went with a propane stove. I did change all of my lights to LED. What else did I do? We did some more stuff in the attic. It was foamed already, but then I think we added a bit more. So we've done a lot. We went solar panels, obviously. That was an expense. A big shout out to CNB. We saw early on with the advantages of getting locked in at a particular kilowatt amount, that it made sense to make that investment. And yes, we don't have that kind of money just sitting around. So, my husband and I had to sit down and talk about it when CNB said, oh, we can just add it into your loan. Normally, you don't want to be adding stuff to your loan, right? It doesn't make good fiscal sense. But at that stage, we were at the beginning of the loan. So I'm like, well, in for a penny, in for a pound at this point. So we decided to go ahead and get it done. Big shout out to James Whitaker and his team over at, remind me now. What's the name of James's? What's it called? Green Tech. Yeah. So they did a really wonderful job. But yeah, you've got to make kind of decisions as you're, pre-construction, as you're building. The things that make a difference. And I really hope that some of the architects and contractors out there instead of looking at, superficial things to make your house look good, think of energy efficient options, because that will help you if you ever are in the market to resell your house and so on. The value of your house goes up, folks, when you have these energy efficient components built into it. So just a
that's
word
spot
to the
on.
wise.
The Ministry of Sustainability actually just posted a guide. I know our team is reposting it on social media as well, for people who are building, in terms of the
Mhm.
things you should do for energy efficiency. And I guess
Mhm.
one of the last points I wanted to leave with, Sandy, is air conditioning usage. Right.
Yes.
So you have the average consumption there for our residential customers, which I'd mentioned earlier is so much higher than the rest of the region. Right.
Yeah.
And that comes down to how often we use our air conditioning. And a
Mhm.
lot of people will call us and say, I went away on summer vacation and my bill was just as high. And so we have to ask, well, did you leave the AC on? And all of the time they're like, yes. Well, but what does that matter? And it does matter, right? So I think people are so used
Yeah.
to it, they feel like if they're using it, that's when it's consuming more electricity. But whether you're there or not, that AC is still consuming electricity. And it's similar to your car. When you go to work, do you go to work and leave your car running? No, because it's going to use the gas, right?
Mhm.
So you turn it off. Same
Mhm.
thing for the AC. When you're not in the property, if not turning it off, turn it high to 87 degrees or where you're comfortable putting it, but no lower than 87 when you're not there, so that you're not burning a lot of electricity when no one's home to use it, right?
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah, and there's you ask people and you get different responses to this, but I
Yes.
think what you say makes sense from the perspective of consumption. So
Yes.
sometimes people answer the question because they're like, oh, when it comes to like controlling the humidity in your home, it's better to leave it on a particular temperature. Well, we're not talking about humidity control. We're talking about consumption, straight up consumption, which most of you are really, really concerned about. So unless you have some extenuating situation where you need to leave it on, and if you have a humidity problem, you may want to look at some other options and how to get that under control. But if you just want to know how to keep that, that bill as low as possible as you get into the hotter months, kids are going to be home during the summer. There's additional expense when they're at home. Just simply turn it off when you're not at home, when you're not in a particular room. I mean, we have like zoned air conditioning. So for example, one side of our house has multiple rooms, including this office. And, at night, 3 of those rooms are not occupied. And so I've
Yep.
always thought, man, if I had designed this house myself, I would have done a different design in terms of even how the AC units are done. Because I'm literally cooling 3 rooms just for 1 room, which is
Yes.
like, it makes no sense. So I don't know obviously, I guess the house is built for larger family. We just don't have, those bodies in here. But, and then even on the side where the master is, we were cooling like other rooms. And we thought, why not just take those, like block those rooms off from the master air conditioning and just cool the master. And of course, it cools a lot quicker when you're just doing 1 room. So we did a couple in the analysis that Polar Bear did for us. They did make recommendations on how to do like certain things. And then there were some rooms that were being cooled unevenly, which that's also important, Nichelle, because guess what? If I'm in a room and I'm feeling hot, and then other people are in other rooms with the same AC and they're feeling cooler, I'm always pushing the temperature down because I'm like, it is hot in here. And come to
Yes.
find out, they come in with a little instrument and they can tell you what the feel like temperature is, what your thermostat temperature is, because sometimes your thermostat reading isn't even accurate. There's so much that I've learned from Polar Bear. It's amazing. And so they can actually make adjustments based on that too. So talk to the professionals, folks. Don't pretend to be, AC technician Google. Like I said, y'all want to be Dr. Google. And then some of you are AC experts, some of you are energy efficiency experts. No, you're not. Speak to the experts. But whenever possible, as Nichelle rightfully said, just turn it off. I'm not here during the day. We turn it off. We can open a sliding door, get some fresh air in, which is good for you anyway. We got nice air in Cayman, generally speaking. Open that up, get some fresh air in.
Yep. I second that. And we have that same issue in our house. One of my 6-year-old has the smallest room, and his room is freezing. Like we
Mhm.
and our temperature doesn't go above below 78 degrees. But then you come to our room, our older son's room, which is bigger, and the temperature is like just right.
Yeah.
So I don't have a solution for that right now
Call
because
Polar
I
Bear because they can actually make adjustments that can impact. I don't know how they do it, but I know they've made adjustments. I'm like, this room doesn't feel. And you know what else, Nichelle?
but you have
Smart
zoned
thermostat.
AC though, Sandy. I don't have zoned AC. That's why it's harder for me to make adjustments.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, but maybe they can do something with the vent. I would still say maybe
Yeah,
turn
they
it on.
can. I'm
But
still gonna talk to them.
yeah, but listen, here's the other benefit of smart devices and stuff. So we're a very smart house. I mean, you know,
Yes. Yes.
I'm trying to get Zeus to the point where he can actually get a PhD in something, chewing on snacks or something. I don't know, but listen, we're able to see our temperatures on our phones at all time. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the little app, right? So right now
Yeah.
it's 76 in here. I just dropped it because I'm feeling a little bit warm. But I've turned off the other ones. And then the other great thing about this is the I think it's pronounced Ecobee or Ecobee. I'm not sure
Yeah.
which one, but
Ecobee.
yes, we had the Honeywell system before, and we also had the Nest. You have that one too?
I have Ecobee too for upstairs, and I have Nest for downstairs.
Girl, get
Just
rid
so
of
that
Nest.
I like to be able to talk to people about the different options. I'm
Get
in
rid of
customer
the
service.
Nest. Oh,
No, girl,
okay.
I need to be able to talk about the 2 different options.
Yeah, we had
So,
Honeywell for years. We used that. We had the Nest. So we had Honeywell on 2 systems, the Nest on another one. And then I came across this one. And if you have
yes.
rental properties, let me tell y'all something about this one. I'm gonna give y'all a little this is consumer information here. Y'all know I'm a
Yeah.
consumer person, I'm an Amazon person. So the great thing about this one is you can control the temperature range. So when you're not home and your kids, this is what happens when y'all during the summer, the kids they go and mess with the thermostat and they drop it down to like 60
Yes, they
degrees.
do.
You can I know the tricks. Mine hasn't figured that. She doesn't even know she can't reach the thermostat yet, but I know it's coming. So with these, and they're great for like rental properties and stuff. Those of you who own Airbnbs, you can actually lock in the temperature range so they can't drop your thermostat below a certain temperature.
Yes. Because
Yeah.
they
Oh
will
my,
drop it to
oh
like
my God.
58 degrees
They're
because
crazy.
they're coming from colder areas and they
Mhm.
are, but you got to be careful, Sandy. They'll leave you a bad review if you don't let them have that range for the thermostat that they want.
Well, you don't need to go below 75. Nobody needs to
Yeah.
come here in the tropics and talk about they need 60 degrees inside the house because then you're
Ah,
just overworking the AC unit. So I have mine locked in 75 to maybe 90 because the upward temperature. So Inspiring says mine is at 90 when I'm not home, and it does go down automatically to 78 from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. only. And I pay around 170 CI per month every month. So that's fantastic, Inspiring. That's
yeah.
definitely working for you.
Thanks
But
for
let me
sharing
tell
that.
you, Inspiring, you probably have a relatively, I want to know what the square footage on your house is too. But the other thing is even 90 degrees in the summer, depending on the construction and lots of other factors, I have walked in and checked the thermostat and it is like 95. And then
Yeah.
your AC would be tripping on. So make sure and the benefit of having these smart devices, folks, is anywhere I have my phone, I can look and check the temperature. Sometimes I forget to turn it off. And so I'm like, oh man, I don't have to drive all the way back from town. I just look and go, oops, forgot to turn it off. Bam, hit the off
You can
button
set up
right on my
vacation
phone.
too. You can say, I'm going to be on vacation specific days, and
Yep.
it'll keep the temperature you want during the whole vacation. I forget, but it's still,
But you could go in and do it. Yeah,
yes,
you can go in and do it
exactly.
on the fly. Now, here's what I want to tell you guys about this system. And this is what I was getting to with Nichelle. This Ecobee, they come with, and it depends on which one you buy, because they have a couple different options that you can purchase, but they actually come with a smart sensor. So I don't know if you have the smart sensor on yours.
I don't. I opted out of it.
Ah.
So, by the way, Ecobee is the recommended smart thermostat by CUT. That is the one that we recommend officially.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay!
Yeah, so look at this, folks. This is the smart sensor. And basically what this works in conjunction with the smart thermostat. So if you have the smart thermostat already, you can add these on, or when you purchase it, you can get the option that includes it, right? So this, listen how smart technology is. This smart sensor knows when a room is occupied and communicates the temperature from your Ecobee smart thermostat from up to a range of 60 feet through walls and floors. And then it prompts your thermostat to make temperature adjustments, ensuring comfort. So even if you forget to turn it off and you leave the room, this smart sensor will actually know that nobody's in the room, that there's no movement.
Isn't
So
technology awesome?
yes. And then it's also great to, you know, at night when it gets too hot or too cold or whatever, it will actually pick up that someone is actually in the room and make the necessary adjustments. So check it out. I see in the comment section here that, who was it? Oh, yes. Shaka Zul says, yes, Ecobee crew here in the house. Very, very good. So, you know, these are the tools that you can utilize to ensure that you're trying to be as energy efficient as possible. The technology is there, and it really, really makes a difference. Yep. So Shaka says they're using the same one as, I think, the Atom sensors for the various occupied rooms, and we have them in all the rooms basically. So fantastic. She doesn't have additional sensors. Yes, that's why you don't have zone control. Oh, okay. So Part Journal says 75 is your lower limit. I'd be pissed in your Airbnb as I need it to be at 72. Girl, that's what Michelle was saying. But manage expectations. So when people say, oh, I want to drop it to 60, I'm like, irks. Nope.
Yeah.
I said we're in the tropics. And the other thing, part that I have recognized makes a difference, thanks to CUC. I remember when it was Tibbetts, Sasha, that made this comment, and I thought, he talked about the use of fans and how a fan in conjunction with the AC can make the feel like temperature a couple degrees cooler. So I installed not just the ceiling fans, because most rooms have a ceiling fan, standing smart fans, which you can control from your phone too, and you can turn them off and on and whatever. And they're amazing. They're the little tower fans. And even in my daughter's room, I have a tower fan that at night, because you know, Caymanians, we got to sleep under a blanket. Even if it's 100 degrees, we're still under the covers, under the blanket. And so I turn on her little smart fan for her now. I can tell Alexa to turn it on. I don't want to say her name too loud because she's going to start talking to me. So we turn that on at night in conjunction with the AC. And I have definitely noticed that when the fan is on, you feel cooler for real. Sasha knows what he's talking about.
Confession, I have standing fans in every bedroom.
Yes.
But I guess this is the East Ender in me, because, well, I don't know if this is specific to East End, but when I went to East End every summer, we would have the standing Lasco fan. And that's what we would fall asleep to nap and at night, and the sound of that is, plus waves, but I don't get waves where I live now, is one of the most soothing sounds. So I don't have the tower make the same sound. Am I alone on that? I get the ones with the round head, because they make the most soothing sound, and they block noise. Humble opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah, best white noise
well, I know
ever.
you had a hard time of 810, so you better go. Thank you so much,
Andy,
Michelle.
thank you.
MCUC, have a wonderful day. All righty, bye-bye. Yes, I wanted to be cognizant of her time. So listen, I'm going to show you guys this fan as well, because listen, I'm trying to help y'all. Y'all know I'm an Amazon guru, and when it comes to tech things, now look at this. Got a smart app. You got your normal remote control, and they are pretty quiet, I must admit. So if you're looking for a fan that's going to make a lot of noise, this probably isn't it. But if you're looking for something that's efficient, this one is called the Drio Smart Tower Fan, 90 degree oscillating fan, great for bedrooms, indoor use, voice control, because now my husband has it connected to Alexa. And so we can tell, Alexa, turn on Gigi's fan, and she's going to turn it on. It has a 12-hour timer. It's 42 inches, quiet blade. So again, if you're looking for that noise, whatever, this ain't going to be it, because this is really, really quiet. But they come in a couple of different colors. You can do black, you can do silver, and you can do white. I love it. Works with Google, Alexa, 9 speeds, LED display. They're fantastic. Anybody needs a recommendation for fan, a standing fan, just link me. I don't personally use a fan because I do, my sinuses are always agitated. So I don't really fool with a fan personally. But, I know for my daughter, this works wonders. So yeah, get your fans, honey child. All right. So I got to give y'all a little joke about me and Amazon. So the other night I was, I told you guys I popped by the meeting there for Georgetown and the rally, the TCCP rally. And so there were 2 people, they shall remain nameless, but they know who they are. They were sitting down talking, and I went behind them and I said to myself, oh, to be a fly between the 2 of you right now. And they laughed. They're like, oh my God, Sandy, we just called your name. And I said, that's what I'm saying. I should be a fly between the 2 of you. And they said, no, we were just talking about you. And one person, the guy was saying to her, he doesn't know anybody who loves Amazon and can get these deals like me. And she was competing with me, talking about, oh no, she loves Amazon and she got a warehouse space where she be shipping all her stuff to. And so they were having a good laugh about that. But yeah, check this out. You got, all these win levels for more comfort. You got normal, natural, sleep mode, and auto. You see what somebody needs to do now. I hope these people are listening, because this has a 25 dB, which is virtually silent. Like you really can't hear it. It has this upgraded DC motor. They need to make a version of this fan for people like Nichelle. So if you need a little bit more sound, then, make a version for her. So one of the modes is like Cayman mode, Caribbean mode, where you hear the fan all the time. And so, yeah, because I know some people get used to, that's what happens when you have babies. You have to be careful with babies, because once you get them used to certain things like patting them on the back or, giving them a pacifier. My daughter never, at first she wouldn't take a pacifier. I think because she was a preemie, and, preemies oftentimes have a little issue like sucking. That's one of the things that if you've ever had a NICU baby, they will tell you that they need to make sure that that baby is properly sucking before they're going to allow the baby to go home, because they don't want you to take the baby home and then the baby isn't feeding properly, because then you have to come back to the emergency room and they have to put the baby in a feeder. And so, one of the key things that they look for is not just weight, but also to ensure that the infant has proper sucking motion, right? And so, babies get used to pacifiers. She didn't take one, and we did not force her to take one. And I'm so glad. The braces, the expense on the braces will be less. She's going to need braces, but, she doesn't have that issue, and she never sucked her fingers or anything like that. So, yeah, so be careful you get babies used to, because if you get them used to like fan noises, ocean breeze, honey child, you're going to have to make sure that they get ocean breeze their entire life to sleep. So here it is. Those of you who like to rock babies to put them to sleep. Oh no, honey child. I was reading all the manuals on how to do it right. You're like, put that baby in that crib and make that baby learn how to self-soothe or just go to sleep on their own. And it's so hard, because when they start crying, you want to be patting them and rocking them and, oh, let's go in the car for a drive and honey child. All right, so look at this smart schedule 2.0. So you can actually schedule when the fan comes on, when it goes off. These things are amazing. Amazing. I love them. Look at that. 90-degree wind space. Like it covers a 90-degree. And then, of course, if you have it oscillating, that's even better. Anywho, check them out. They're amazing little fans. When I discovered them, I'm like, yes, something that can help me be more energy efficient. And the brand name for this one is Dreo. I think that's how they pronounce it. DREO, Smart Tower Fans for your home. All right, there's your Amazon tip for the day. I need to become one of those Amazon resellers, where they have like a little channel, and I have like recommendations on what to buy. Ceiling fans. Jasan says, what about ceiling fans? Well, Jasan, I don't have as many recommendations for ceiling fans because the one that I have is no longer available. And I haven't quite seen any like it since. So I haven't been in the market for ceiling fan because these are the ones I'm looking behind me. They actually are a light and a fan built into it. And they're so cool because they're not really big, but those blades, they move a lot of air. And, I'll be honest with you, I find that I don't even turn on a ceiling fan that often. But I'm sure there must be, oh, you know what I should do? You guys know that on Amazon, you can take a picture of something. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to show you what it looks like, but I'm aware because at the time we purchased these, and we have one in every single room and on the porch and stuff like that, they came from Home Depot. And so let me just check something here this morning. Hold on. I like to save like pictures of stuff as well. So I have pictures of like design ideas, like when I was looking for certain things, like when I was looking for like desk space. Y'all know I like to be organized, honey child. I'm an organizer, and so I like to find things that are functional, still look good. Oh my God, I'm looking at pictures of my house and what it used to look like before we moved in. Wow. Oh, it was just like an empty shell of a space. We've done so much to this house in terms of everything, efficiency, the works. It seems like so long ago that we even moved in. Memories. And oh my God, I got to show you one of my favorite pictures. We're going to go down memory lane for a quick second before we get back into politics. But yes, we came in and we're like, oh, we got to get stuff done. And oh, these are the doors I do want to change out. Can I show y'all some doors that I want? I don't even know if they still have these because I took this picture way back when. But these are the sliding doors that I wanted. But you got a budget for these things in the gym. A.L. Thompson's, I'm going to be talking to y'all. I swear, I be calling Alty like he my cousin. Say, cousin Alty, can I please get a discount? I need a discount, honey child. I even had pictures here of like the crown molding designs that I liked. So I've done crown molding every year. Let me tell you how I do it. When you get a house, it's expensive. Don't make nobody fool you. Okay. Nothing comes cheap. And so you have got to take your time getting there. Okay. So every year, I know we can't do it all at one time. Every year I undertake a specific project. And so I tell young people, when you move in, you want to furnish everything, honey child, take your time, right? I had a jacuzzi bath and I'm like, I'm not getting in that. I sold that before we even moved into the house. And then that was like under construction or open space for like a year until I could save for the proper build out shower that I wanted. It was a redesign for the whole bathroom. And so, these are the things that you got to be smart. Everybody wants their little home, and that's great. But honey child, you can't go in there like you got $1 million budget, because you better try and focus on that mortgage first. I'm just saying. So, those are the things that we had to do. And the yard wasn't done for a while. And then, eventually I'm like, okay, now I can afford plants, because plants not cheap either. And so when we could landscape the yard, then we did that. So do what you can do and don't worry about anybody else. Nobody's keeping up with the Joneses, just do your little bit, honey child. All right. So let me show you now some of the, design things that I managed to do. Hold on. So yeah, I'm actually gonna show you the fan. That's what I'm looking for. I think I have the fan saved in here. So I had like laundry ideas. I love the barn door. So I actually wanted to do that in the there's like a dining room area that has 2 entrances, but then I decided to leave it open actually. And I think it works better open. Anyway, hold on. Let me see if I can find those fans for you, honey child. Give me 1 second. Oh my God. Can I Y'all gonna laugh when I show you this picture. Oh, this is a walk down memory lane for sure. Hold on, honey child. Where are those fans? Oh my goodness. Let me see. Yes, 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 yes. So now this summer, I have another project. I'm working on an outdoor space project. So a little gazebo, a barbecue grill, and I'm making some good progress with that. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. All right, let me try to find this fan. We had our lights. Oh, some of these things you can't even find anymore. That's why when I find something I like, sometimes I'm like, you know what? Buy like a couple of them because at some point they're not going to make them anymore. All right, hold on. Fans. Let me see here, honey child, if I can show you. Oh, I had a pool folder, but we had to axe the pool idea. Where's my fans? Hold on. I don't know. Don't even look like I can find a picture of the fans anymore. All right. Well, I thought I had a picture here somewhere. I'm sure I did, but I can't find it. Let me tell you something. I save stuff. When it comes to documents, I try to save my documents. Even that Nation Building Fund fiasco, I was clearing out some stuff. I told you all in spring cleaning. I put the files up here in my office from 2012. I still have all the registration documents from the students, all of my notes, everything. So when y'all be trying to lie and auntie, you better come better than that, honey chill. I can't find the fans. Oh man. All right, I can't find it. Home Depot. I don't know. All right, maybe I can all right, I'll try to find it but they no longer sell them, at least not at Home Depot. But they have lasted and they're still going strong, girl. So I'm not going to take them down anytime soon. I'm like, keep them right there. But let me show you guys a couple little things. Shall we do a little trip down memory lane? This is fun for me. All right, let me show y'all a couple little things. Hold on. So sometimes I'm looking at stuff. I'm not a big Pinterest person. I know some of you love Pinterest, but occasionally I'll go on there and they do have some cool ideas. So let me show you the bathroom remodel. So this is what it was before. We had one of these like jacuzzi tubs. Total waste of water, first of all. If you have one of these jacuzzi tubs, that is such a waste because all you're going to do is fill that up and do what? Sit in it? So I don't know whose design idea it was to put this in our house, but they did. And I thought it was a horrible idea, quite frankly. So we pulled this out. We actually sold it because it was never used or anything. So we sold it to somebody. And then these things, after a while, sometimes they get leaks and they're a nightmare. So we sold that, and that was taking up most of the bathroom. You see where that was there? We pull that out, and that little thing over there, that's the shower. I was like, who makes a shower that small in a master? Because 99% of the time, you're not getting in that jacuzzi tub anyway. You're using the shower. So, honey child, I ripped everything out. And then I was like, oops, maybe I shouldn't have ripped it out so soon. Anyway, saved my money. And probably like a year later, my husband's like, did you have to rip it out before you're ready? Eventually, we redid it. And then let me show you what the post-construction looked like. Well, this is not a full picture, but this is where the jacuzzi was. It's now a full shower, accommodate, 2 people, his side, her side. And then there you go. So that was good. And then, we got some other guests coming in that I totally forgot about. Hold on, honey child. Let me send them this link. They're going to be talking to us about some stuff. All right. All right. It's a good thing I was wasting some time. Not wasting time. I'm talking to y'all about some good stuff, some home decor stuff. All right. So this is my favorite picture, though. This was Gigi and her dad in the backyard. It looks so different now. We've got the porch screened in. We took out all those El Cheapo fans. I hated those little white fans. So they all came down And then, yeah, she's so cute in this picture. I don't know what it is about this picture and her dad, but she just has the biggest smile on her face. So this is when we were contemplating, we were looking at the house and we're like, yes, we're gonna try to get this house. Let's make an offer. Let's talk to CNB. And so we were walking around outside, and that was her, a wee little bit of something. Oh my gosh, she's so sweet. Aw. All right. Parents, you know how it is when you look at pictures of the kids. And look at how, just empty space. Now it looks so different. Wow. So this was a concept idea I had. Like, this is like storage, cupboards, and a desk space in one. So I was kind of thinking about that. These are the doors that I want. So these are like sliding doors, but they look so nice. So A.L. Thompson's had these. I don't know if they still have them. I haven't looked at these in years. But Uncle Altie, can we talk when my budget frees up? I want to get these doors for my sliding doors. Because I've got sliding doors for closets, and I'm thinking instead of the ones that I have, I could use these. And these are so much nicer. I love these. So this is like my dream sliding door. We're going to have to work it in the budget. Now, y'all know I love an organization and a laundry project. So check this out. This is a cool idea if you have the space for it. You can set up laundry bins like this. And it looks like a drawer, but they're actually, you just put the laundry bins in there and you can pre-sort. You can pre-sort by laundry type, or even, like one person, like tell Johnny, this is his basket, Samantha, this is her basket, whatever. And that's a good way of organizing your laundry. And then I have to show you my foot fetish, not my foot fetish, my shoe fetish, I should say. So when we first moved in, this room is now the gym. But honey child, this is before I could decide where these shoes were gonna go. This is what it looks like. Ooh, honey child, it's a mess. Yes, I love shoes. All right, let's move on. We've got some guests. Adrian is going to be joining us along with, hold on, let me get his name. Adrian and Alan, I think. Alan Blake is the operations and facility manager for units. I don't even know what Adrian's title is. She's like Superwoman extraordinaire. She just does a little bit of everything. And this is one of her projects. This is her latest baby. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
How are you guys doing?
Well.
We're
Yourself?
doing great, Sandy.
Yeah, fantastic. So good to have you on site, on location.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they're at a units pod, and they're going to tell us what these moving and portable storage units are all about. So thank you guys so much.
We are. We're going to tell you what it's all about. We're also going to talk about
Are you going to walk inside of one? Like, how are you going to do? You can do.
Can
that
you hear
too.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, we're going to walk inside of them, but we also want to share with you an exciting pop-up event that we're doing in collaboration with EK Trade, Cayman Islands' largest online marketplace platform.
Yeah.
And so it's Eunice and EK, and we're sponsored by Rubus and Track. It is
Okay.
a pop-up event on Saturday, April the 5th. It's going to be out at the future site of our gorgeous 35,000 square foot warehouse.
Yeah.
But we've
Nice.
got tents coming in. We'll have face painting. We'll have a
Food trucks.
food trucks.
Yep,
That's
yep.
right. Humane
Oh, wow.
Society is coming out
Yeah.
with dogs for adoption.
Yeah.
We're going to have a
Nice.
special appearance with this cube thing that you may have been hearing about, celebrating a 20th anniversary. So we're super excited. It's going to be a great event. We've had a really good response from local artisans. We were at Camana Bay yesterday. We've got exquisite edibles.
Yeah.
We've got
Wow.
Catherine Succulents.
Catherine succulents. So, it's kind of nice for these local artisans because during the week, a lot of us can't get there.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a Saturday venue for them as well.
Yeah.
And then we have some other local businesses.
So Rubus as well as Track
Yeah.
are sponsoring the event. We're really excited to have them on board.
Mhm.
Yep, and Track will have some cars out.
Yep.
So you'll have a chance to take a look at some cars. We're going to do
Raffles.
We've got raffles. That's right. We have a
Wow.
pair of VIP tickets
Right.
to Out of This World featuring Ludacris on Saturday, May the 3rd or 31st.
There's a lot going on.
So yeah,
Yes.
we've got a lot coming on. We want everyone to come out to see what's going on out here. You know, Units is a U.S. based franchise that we brought on island last year. We actually kicked it off in December with a toy drive of 2023.
2023. Yeah.
And then 2024 was our first year in operations. But what we do is we bring storage to you. So we have 12 and 16-foot containers, as well as our little Units Blue,
right
which will
behind
also,
us.
which will also show you. And
Nice.
it's a whole new way, a whole new concept, new way, an innovative way to think of storage.
Yeah.
And so we're going to show you inside of one. And we
Okay.
set this up and staged it a little bit, so you can see they're galvanized steel construction, really nice floors. Spacious. This is actually a 16-foot unit. The units are vented to allow for airflow through.
Okay.
You can also create shelving and things, which we'll show on Saturday. We'll showcase on Saturday the 5th. But just some items to show you here how you can set up for the event. Whether you're a business, whether you're individual, and you just have stuff you want to clean out. Come out, you know, give us a call. You can go to EK online. You can call Units 929-8648, and we can give you information about the registration. If you don't want a unit, a 16-foot unit, we also have tables for rent. So this is on our Units table, but you can brand your table, and you can rent a table as well. If that's what you want, you'll get one table and 2 chairs, and you can put your items on, you know, display them on your table. And I talked a little bit about Units Blue. This is our $5. Yes, I said $5.
Yes. Wow.
Storage option per month. This keeps things nice and organized. If you want to organize your, whether it's documents or you want to do kitchen, you want to do Christmas, you want to do whatever it is. You'll see these portable storage here. They're also barcoded. And they are numbered, so you can keep an inventory of what you have where, which is
they're stockable, they're lockable. I mean, can you remember when you're buying boxes and lids go missing and all that sort of stuff?
Yes.
Well, the lids are actually attached to the box.
Oh,
and
nice.
they're like a clasp
and they
there
don't
as well.
they don't get crunched and slide off and all that.
Yeah.
It's like a hinge close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Very
good.
versatile.
No, that's great. And I love, we were just talking about stuff around the house and, you know, organizing ideas and all sorts of ideas. So I love a good project. I'm actually doing some spring cleaning right now. And it's funny that you say that, because I've got the other plastic containers I'm having to, like, you know, make little labels and stick what's on there. So I love that high-tech barcode. And
we did it for you. We've done the work for you.
And it's so affordable. I mean, you buy if you go to Policy Less, and we love Policy Less, so you go to Price Right. We love Price Right. If you go to those places and you buy those big plastic bins, you're spending, you know, a whole bunch of money on it. Whereas these now, they're $5 per month, starting off $5 per month, and that includes the bin and storage.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, our customers just love them because they help to organize within the container even more.
Yeah.
But you want to see how? Do you want to see how we actually deliver these containers to you?
Yes, please show us
show
all.
Okay, so we have a new team member who joined us about a month ago. His name is Cody Bush. Cody, where are you? Hiding.
Might be a little bit windy, Sandy, so let us know if you can hear us or not, okay?
Yes.
Cody,
yes.
say hi.
Hi,
Good
Cody.
morning, Sandy, and all of
Hi,
our
good
followers.
Wow, what a beautiful day out there. Look at that sun, nice and warm.
Oh, gorgeous. It's gorgeous. We are going to have a tent out on Saturday, just in case. We will be blocking the sun. Yeah. But as you can see, we're lining the exterior with our Units portable containers.
Okay.
And we will have different venues set up inside these containers. As I mentioned, we'll have the Humane Society out here as well. They'll have some dogs for adoption, which, Sandy, I got to tell you, I'm a little concerned about that I might be going home with one, but that's okay.
There's nothing wrong with going home with a dog.
I know, right. So the star of the
There
show
was
over here is called the
responsibility,
Robo. If you can see it over here, it's about to start up.
Okay.
Can you see it
Wow, we
okay?
got a little in the field. Yeah, I'm gonna do it full screen so everybody can see it. Oh, look at this. So is that being operated by him? I noticed he's not sitting on it. Is some kind of device to operate it?
Remote control.
It is. It's
Remote
operated by remote
control.
control that's around his neck. If you see the little, he'll go like this.
Yeah.
How cool that is.
Oh my gosh.
Is that innovation or what?
Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna come
Yes.
out in person so I can
Please.
get
Yeah, you
close-up
definitely have to
video
come
of
out. You
that.
definitely have to come out.
Well, we hope you'll come out on Saturday the 5th as well. Bring your little girl.
Yes.
We'll have face painting and exquisite
Edibles.
They are doing a dessert bar. Like, I've never even heard of a dessert bar, and I don't
Last
really
thing I need, but yes.
but I just might do it.
Exciting
Oh
stuff.
my gosh, that sounds amazing. So
All right.
Blackberry was asking if they were climate controlled. So you say they have ventilation for
Correct.
airflow.
These units are ventilated only. However, our warehouse will be, our 35,000 square foot warehouse will be climate controlled.
Okay. Is the warehouse not yet built?
It is not yet built. So
Okay.
we just elevated the pad for it. We've got our whole construction crew working on getting things through planning, and we all know how building goes. So we're in the works, we're in the progress, but we will have some images of the actual warehouse to share with everyone also.
Okay.
On the 5th, so you can see what's to come here. It's going to be a beautiful facility. We'll be able to stack these 16-foot containers 3 high. It'll be a beautiful space, and we'll be hosting events there as well once it is built. So lots of fun stuff in the future for units.
All right.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, we can bring the storage to you at your home. You can
Yeah.
pack it up as you need. We can move it to different locations for you.
Yes.
We rent the units themselves starting as low as $275.
Yep.
You can do it weekly. You can do it monthly. We don't like commitments here. Sorry. We're commitment phobic.
Yes.
So,
That's perfect.
But
so
if
it's
you
flexible.
don't, and if you don't have any space at your location, like your home or your business, we can actually store it here for you at no additional cost.
Wow. Fantastic. All right, folks.
Gated.
So,
Yeah, it's all safe and sound. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can.
how do people contact you?
What's that?
How do people contact you if they want more information?
I was just about to say, go ahead and give us a call at 929-UNIT, which is 8648. You can see it right on the side of our units. Or you can just email us at info@units.ky.
All right, and
Here's our
units.ky
info.
is the
Love to hear
website.
from you, and we hope to see everyone out here on Saturday, April the 5th. Join us for our first event. We're going to have lots of fun, free, as I said, concert tickets out of this world, that cube thing we're talking about. So it'll be fun. Come on out and join us. We look forward to seeing you all. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you so much, Adrian. And
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Bye,
it.
everyone. Have a beautiful day.
Thanks, you too.
Take care.
All right, folks. So get your, wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you need a little week of extra storage, you know, you're moving stuff around or decluttering or whatever. Go check it out. They're having their big event coming up. Paul says, what about drainage when a storm comes for the units? I don't know. That's beyond my my pay grade. I don't know about that one, Paul. All right, so what else we got for you? Y'all ready for politics? Some days I'm like, can we go back pre-election time where we don't have to talk about those things? All right, so listen, hold on. Okay, by the way, someone sent me a picture earlier, I think that was you, Paul, that Bermuda is going to be getting a price increase. Now, you know, when it comes to price point, Bermuda is actually more expensive than Cayman. I think we're around the same population size. I think geographically they're a little bit different, but I think population size we're around the same. What about landmass? Are we like around the same for landmass? I don't even know. But they're going to be getting a fuel adjustment rate increase in April. So all of our friends who live in Bermuda, just FYI, in case you missed this article, you're getting a price increase. I tell you what. Yeah, there you go. So it's not just Cayman. Somebody says, post this picture up on your, oh, okay. Oh, no. Okay. We'll talk about this. I'm going to talk about this because I do have an opinion on this. All right, we'll get to that. That's politics coming your way. All right, let me see here. Y'all not easy, nah? Y'all not easy, boy. No, sir. Lord have mercy. See, now I'm feeling cooler, so I'm going to adjust that AC again, right, from my phone. All right. All right, so a couple things. Couple things here that we want to jump on. And some of those things include the tricks that people play in the world of politics. Yeah. So Bermuda is smaller than us, only 21 square miles. Oh, and they're more expensive. I know y'all feeling the pinch. Ooh, honey child. Bermuda, I'm sorry. What a mess. What can you do? Small island nations have very unique ecosystems. Oh, because we got to import everything. So what a hot mess. All right, listen up, kiddos. It's election time, and y'all are doing the most election-wise. And so you're sending me stuff. Some of it I'm like, meh. You know, the memes. What is that one called? FAFO? Yeah, if you know what it means, good. If you don't, you're too young. So let's look at this one that someone just sent me. I haven't previewed it, but it's on stage. So I'm assuming there's no profanity in there because it was at a political rally. And so I think that it should be safe. It's Kenneth Bryan. I'm sure he wouldn't be cursing at a political rally. All right, let's see. Less people and only 21 square miles. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Let's see what Mr. Kenneth is saying in this video. Like I said, I just got it.
The chamber debates, they come with the binder about that thick.
Yeah.
They're all getting it written out, and they gotta look down at the binder and say, "I'm gonna make sure you say this part when this question comes." And they say, "Yes, I will fix the pension, and I will do it like this, and I will do it like that." What? No, seriously.
All of us here
on April 30th. So for those of you who are
we would seek to address, my career has allowed me.
What the BPM has already done.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So that one is making fun of the PPM for radio listeners who can't see the video. Basically, Kenneth said that on stage about them using binders or whatever. And then it showed multiple PPM people at the debate so far, all using their binders, including Donna, Roy Tatum, Crystal Gomez, and even Delmira. Oh boy. Yes, sir. They were sitting there reading too. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell y'all how I feel about this because somebody sent a thing around with Heyman. And I mean, listen, if the party has a particular position on something, and they've given them notes to read or whatever. I mean, listen, I come from a different school, right? So let me tell y'all how it worked back in the day. I was in debate in high school. I did high school debates. And, for a very long time, I've been involved in things that gave me public speaking experience. So I was the kid. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere because my aunt was so strict, but I was allowed to go to church. So I did a lot. I was told y'all the other day. One year I played Jesus's mom. I was Mary, honey child, at the Bethlehem scene. You know what I mean? So, I had to memorize lines, and I've been in plays, and you know, been at it a hot minute. And so I know that there are things that you can do. And if you watch the video interview that I did with the young parliamentarians and how they prepared for their speeches, there are things that you can do. Honey child, my aunt's dog, his name was Prince. Prince heard enough of my speeches and enough of my presentations. So if I won a scholarship and I knew that I'd have to speak, I had to prepare. And one thing I always did is, especially the first line or two of my speech, I committed that to memory. So your introduction, you know, you don't have to look down. You can make eye contact with your audience. And I try to do as much as I can in terms of that. You know, now people have teleprompters. I actually have a teleprompter here. I don't use it for myself, but I have one here. Actually, it's never even been used. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I bought it with a good idea to actually help candidates because they be needing help. So not everyone has the same level of experience. And I would say that, you know, when you become a politician, you kind of are thrown in at the deep end and you're expected very, very quickly to gain all of these skills. Well, you're not going to get it overnight, right? So you might have to look at your binder, but I think the way in which they're doing it does show some interesting elements of preparation. So, you know, there was a question, I mean, I defended Heather. In her case, I know that it doesn't have anything to do with her knowing the information. Heather is a very nervous speaker, but I also, and I've said this to her and I've said it to her TCC people, she needs to simply practice. The only way that you get better at this stuff is to simply practice. You're not going to get any better if you do this once every 4 years. So practice your public speaking. You know, all of these so-called teams, especially, they have the resources to get their candidates in front of people where they can practice, where they can, you know, have opportunities to do more and more public speaking and presentations. So on the one hand, taking material with you shows that you're prepared, I suppose, to some extent. But what I find happening is a lot of these people haven't done the right kind of preparation for themselves at these debate forums. But listen, Kenneth, word to the wise, you're in this game, and we know that you don't need you're not gonna need no binder or whatever. Not everybody necessarily has that skill, but you see what they say when you call the kettle, when the pot calling the kettle black, you got to be careful because you're taking a shot at, because they want to tell you that the CINP people are all inexperienced. And well, that might be true, but you're taking a shot at them, and you yourself have teammates within the PPM that are demonstrating their lack of experience and stuff as well, and their lack of not being able to do a debate without a binder. So, you know, don't call out other people when your team members are in the same boat. I'm disappointed, by the way. All of the PPM debaters so far have been lackluster at best, and some were just downright horrible. So I don't know, honey child. Your binder should be there for support, but I don't know that should be the primary thing that you are relying on. And you know, yeah, y'all need practice. Just practice some more. But Kenneth, you got a lot of skills. So what you can do is within the PPM, now that you've rejoined the Brotherhood of Red, the Sea of Red, what you may want to do is actually help some of these people do a better job. Because I can tell you what, those 4 that have gone so far as part of PPM, yeah, I don't see any of them getting elected if we were going off of the debates. Nope. And I'm disappointed. For example, especially Roy Tatum. I'm like, Roy has been in the progressives for donkey years. What has he been doing all this time? Under Alden, Frocktail, Alden should have been, you know, helping him, getting him to write speeches and doing the most and, you know, getting practice. So, yes, I mean, y'all want to talk about poor Heyman, and I'm going to talk about Heyman because Heyman, honey child, we got some issues with you now, Bobo. But, you know, Heyman is here reading, but this is Heyman's first time to his credit. Some of y'all been in the political arena forever, and you're still not doing any better. Donna has been in media forever, and unless she has a prepared script, Lord have mercy. You know, she can't help herself. And even if you have to read from a speech, because let me be very, very clear, you know, the other night I was watching, what's her name? Natasha for Red Bay, and she was at points reading from her speech, and sometimes she went off speech. But one thing about her, it was still engaging, right? So if you can use vocal inflections and that sort of stuff to make it engaging, your audience is more likely to pay attention. Some politicians are the worst when it comes to public speaking. And it's because, you know, maybe they have some other skills. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Good morning, caller. Uh-oh, I can't hear you. Hold on. I might have to call you back. Let me restart. Normally when this happens, these iPhones aren't recognizing, so I need to restart them. Give me a second, Jonathan. I will call you back. All right, let me just do a little reboot here. So I'm of two minds, you know, I can see obviously how it can be supportive, and I don't have an issue with that. Sometimes you might want to have notes if you want to refer to something, because listen, if I'm going to talk about figures and all kind of stuff, I'm not going to necessarily keep that. Like I said, the brain only got so much space in there, honey child. Sometimes I'll be knocking it, trying to knock stuff out this way to put in something else this way. You know what I mean? Jasan, says Natasha is doing a great job. Yes, I actually am very, very impressed with her. And I think in a short space of time, you can see how she is. The nervousness is going and she is getting into it. Gabby says they picked the right color. One big red flag there is Paul the man, KY, he having a good laugh at the T. Anthony says the sea of red and the unlucky 13. Lord have mercy. Y'all coming hard for the PPM. Oh my God. Listen, I got predictions as it relates to the election. And the one prediction I kind of feel confident about is, the PPM is for the first time in their history going to lose some seats in their stronghold of Georgetown. I'm predicting they may get 3 or 4 seats at the most. And that's nowhere near what it takes to form a government. Now, the T on the road has been that they are working with some people behind the scenes. Now, I don't doubt that that is probably true. So I reached out to Mr. Joey. Kudos to Mr. Joey, though. At least he responds to stuff. He's not like Alden. He has been responding to our queries. And so I said to him, there's a rumor afoot, Mr. Joey Hugh, that you guys are low-key working with Chris Saunders, and he will be helping you form the government. So Mr. Hugh said, this was just on Saturday, I said there are rumors circulating that the Progressives is working with Chris Saunders and encouraging your supporters to vote for him. Can you confirm if this is true or not? Also, some questions about Lonnie Tibbetts, the same question about Lonnie Tibbetts and McKeeva Bush. So that's what the streets are talking politically. So he said that he says, good morning. I've made it clear from the onset that the PPM will not be part of any side deals or alliances. All right, now let's analyze that response. Because the interesting thing about it is he didn't exactly answer my first question, which is, are you guys actually telling people to vote for Chris Saunders? Because they don't have anybody running in that area. Are you telling your supporters to vote for Chris Saunders? He didn't answer that. What he said is that they're not going to entertain any side alliances. So how I interpret that, it is open to a bit of interpretation. Because remember, they kind of did that last time, like John wasn't a PPM member. And their analysts have told them that that's one of the things that hurt them. Well, I don't know who they're using as their analyst, but Bobo, Joey, all you need to do is listen to CMR. And you wouldn't need to pay those analysts. You'd just be listening to the people. You'd be listening to the correct sources, right? That they're not going to help you that John has now joined PPM. So he joined PPM. You don't think he can resign from PPM and jump somewhere else? Come on. Pick sense from nonsense. So with this answer, with this response, what I'm thinking is he didn't answer the first one, about whether or not they're encouraging people to vote, throw their vote in support of certain people because, they'll get together. It's not going to be an alliance. What they would do is they would say to Chris Saunders, Chris, you got in with the help of the PPM because we told our supporters to vote for you. And so now you need to become a PPM member and join us in order to form the party. That's how they're going to do it. How do I know that? Because I pay attention to history and what has been done before. That's what Julie did. She ran before and joined the PPM. Remember, all this time she's been a PPM member, All this time, Juliana O'Connor Connolly has been a PPM member. Okay? Mm-hmm. And, that didn't change. So when UPM formed, we're like, PPM. Well, now they're saying 4.0, so that was PPM 3.5. All right? So I think that's how they're going to do it. Time will tell, but let's make sure that certain people don't get in, such as Chris Saunders. I'm not telling y'all who to vote for, but that's my constituency, and I will tell y'all, do not vote for this man. This is the one person that I feel, well, not the only person, there's about 3 of them, that I feel very, very passionate about because his disrespect that he went into the civil service and showed was absolutely shocking, and it should have landed him in legal trouble. But his poor victims are so afraid. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm coming to that. Don't worry. They denied my FOI, but I'm coming to him because I need you, the people. I've spoken to his victims, some of them. There's so many. I need you, the people, to know what kind of person he is. And Chris Saunders, don't come for me, because I hear low-key you're trying to spread rumors about me. You can spread all the rumors you want. I hope you know that I, with my own little beady eyes, and I make sure that they're nice and the lenses are nice and clean, I have seen pictures of you and certain people in our community into these sexcapades that you be having. And I was shocked, this young lady, what I saw, the position I saw her in, I was shocked to see that. Nobody wants to see that. And you guys are low-key messy. No, you're not low-key messy. You're very, very messy. And so, you like to record your stuff. And so you should know that don't come for me, because the pictures are there. The evidence is there of the kind of person that you are. You get on these platforms and talk about how you've been married for 20-something years. You're a high school sweetheart. Stop your lies. You've been married, but you've not been faithful. We can tell you that. This man, I'm not going to go too deep into this because, like I said, I've got all the evidence. Anybody who wants to challenge me, I've got all the photos, all the evidence. Wifey, were you ready to file for divorce and get that house? You come and see me because we got all the pictures that you can give to your divorce lawyer. But let me just say this much. It's not the normal stuff that most people are into. I would suggest that Chris Saunders sees a professional, because it's not just being a sex addict. It takes it like to a totally, totally different level. And he wastes a lot of time and energy on it. Ordinarily, I wouldn't care. That would be his personal business. But what he has done is he has taken it into the civil service. You see, that is where, Chris, I have a problem with you, right? Nothing personal. Me and you are cool on a personal level. But I have a problem when you decided to take your addiction and your harassment of people, because I always thought that your relationships were consensual. These extramarital relationships. I thought, okay, well, if people want to have consensual relationships with you, that's on them. Whether they're married or not, that's their business. When I found out that you're trying to blackmail people, you're using photos of people, trying to blackmail them and trying to force them into these relationships, and you targeted female civil servants, that, my friend, is where I was like, no, Bobo. We've got to protect the civil servants. I mean, come on. And these women, this is no joke. I know some of y'all women talking about you want to vote for him. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you have been the victim of sexual harassment, and it's not a nice position to be in as a woman. And what I can tell you is that These women were literally afraid and remain afraid for their lives and their livelihood. These are women with families. These are wives. These are mothers. And so you guys know how I feel about sexual abuse in the workplace, sexual harassment. And so I want to make it very, very clear. I stand with these women because who else are they going to have to stand up for them? Well, to their credit, they had Mr. Wayne Panton. Okay. And so I have spoken to some of them. One of them has given me statements about the type of behavior that this man was engaged in. I'm actually going to do an editorial on this, but let me just show you the long list of some of the things that he was doing to his civil servants. And it is an extensive list. So here's the deal. You think this man is qualified and you want to put him back into office, right? And Strong Wilt says, leave the personal business out of it. No, this isn't your personal business when you take it into the workplace. And when you are a representative of the people and you take it into the workplace, this is where it becomes a problem. Okay. There's a distinction. If the man was just out there doing this, like, I don't know, in his neighborhood or whatever, you know, we might kind of mention it in passing. But when this long list of stuff is going on in the government building, Strong Wilt, this is not his personal business. That government building is not his personal hunting ground, and that's what he was using it for. And that's a problem. Civil servants afraid to go to work. Some of them were put on leave having mental health issues because of Chris Saunders. And you think I must leave this alone? My editorial piece is coming on him and that specific issue. Stay tuned. Let me see here. Comments. Marshall says John and Juju be jumping ship once they are on a sinking ship. Aisle 2025 says Joey's getting back in, unfortunately. Well, oh gosh, I still can't hear this phone. Maybe not. Mr. Amelia's making some ground on Joey. Y'all sit there. Don't assume. Don't make any assumptions. Good morning, caller. I still can't hear you. Hold on one second. Let me try. I wonder if I need to use a new cable. Might have to get another cable here shortly. Hello. Oh, still nothing. Hello? Nope. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I can actually hear it when it clicks in, but all right, hold on. Let me try and get it clicking in. But yes, these are some very, very serious allegations, folks. And because they're happening to civil servants, you know, I don't believe in abusing civil servants. I'm like, no. That not gonna work. All right, let me see if I can get this clicking in. Oh, what's going on today? All right. So unfortunately, you know, I have to address this. And I'm also going to address a lot of the things that he says during his debates, which I want y'all to know that half of that is nonsensical. Jonathan, I'm trying to call you back. So here's the bottom line, MPs. You know, some of your some of what you I can't pick up the call today. I don't know what's going on. My little phone, honey child. Hello? Nope. Not coming in through the board. Oh, wait a minute. Hello?
Hello, good morning, Sandra.
Child, it wasn't even the phone this time. It was, I had the button muted. My apologies, Jonathan. How you doing, honey child?
Good morning. No, feel no way about that, Sandra. I'd like to just, with what I have to say to you this morning, just start with a quote from a gentleman called Mr. Frederick Bastiat. And this is the quote. Mm-hmm. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men, and I put in parentheses, and or women, in a society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system which authorizes it and the moral code that glorifies it. And that puts Cayman into the context of what we have here today across the board with all of the issues that we face. You know, I agree with you that quite a little bit of BS there with what Kenneth Byrne was speaking as it pertains to the structure of the debates. But he has, for his own political experience, of course, but he has struck upon something which I believe you may not agree with me on. But I see there is an absence of a legitimately objective ability for the potential and incumbent candidates in Cayman to have real debate as opposed to a forum or any pre-structured forum. Not only that, we do not have the ability as members of the electorate to directly question the positions, the history of, and the intentions of the incumbents or the potential candidates who are running for elected office here in Cayman. Now, the part that I know that you may not agree with me on, Sandra, is this. As it pertains to the Chamber of Commerce, they are a lobbying group. They have their agenda. Case in point will be their previous efforts at putting out a huge PR campaign pushing for increasing Cayman's population above 100,000 people. Okay. The Chamber of Commerce is owned and controlled by big business in Cayman. Right? And in the absence of a necessary objectivity, which by definition the Chamber of Commerce does not have, we need to have here in Cayman debates between the potential and incumbent candidates, not restricted just to each constituency. Because let us not forget, here in Cayman Islands, all right, regardless of the localism and I guess the tribalism to a degree that you get within certain constituencies, with the understanding that, yes, there's definitively within each constituency concerns and issues which need to be addressed. But we need to have our political candidates and our hopefuls and our incumbents. They need to be able to go through the gauntlet of being questioned and with each other. Okay? So we need to have a debate structure here in Cayman prior to election cycles. Not just one constituency having to talk with each other. No, we need national debate on all of these matters because the responses that are given are somewhat prepackaged.
I mean, you pretty much know what's coming, and I don't
challenges by the people themselves or having to be responsible and accountable to the whole country.
Here's what I'm going to say.
But please don't shut me off when you're done.
Here's what I'm going to say, Jonathan. I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think the logistics of having that type of debate where the people are challenging them, then you get into a pissing competition. And, you know, I mean, I'm gonna pick on you a little bit here, right? Because I've seen you go to political meetings where you've turned that into that type of a format, and a meeting that was supposed to last an hour and a half ends up being a 5-hour meeting. Nobody's going to have time for that. So let me be very, very honest. Like if you went there, you'd grab the mic and you'd take over and, you know, you'd be challenging them on every little thing. So I don't know how well that would work.
What are you referring to, Sandra? Specifically.
What am I referring to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you go to political meetings, you specifically have taken over the mic and you keep challenging. And I mean, like I said, in that format, it's a little bit different. But imagine if you went to one of these debates, you would take the mic and you'd be asking like 10 questions. How do you control that? So I think what the chamber tries to do, and I'm going to give them full credit. They try to have an environment where they can ask the pertinent questions, which, by the way, you can submit to them, right? And they've asked the questions of everybody, and they try to control the environment where, no, you don't have people in the audience asking questions and they can't control the audience. And, you know, it's hard to even, you know, get a mic from you sometimes. I'm just telling you the truth, you know?
I'd like to know what specific instance you're talking about in that regard.
Okay, well, let's say Alric's first meeting. You know how many times you got up at Alric's first meeting?
Yes, because these are things which I am passionate about.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well,
No,
I mean, I
there
gave you
has to
you
be-
wanted an example. I gave you an example, but still,
because
you
I'm
don't.
looking for candidates, Sandra, who are willing to do what is
Jonathan,
next.
I understand that. But what I'm telling you is when other
Mhm.
people are sitting there watching this, right? Number one, because you kind of dominate the mic, you know, you've got that strong personality. Other people may not get to ask their questions, right? So if the debate was done in that way, you'd have one or two people who have that personality taking over the mic, taking over the debate. And it's like, okay, what about the rest of us? Or, you know, so I don't know that it's a workable situation for a debate when people only have so much time. If you had all the time in the world, which people don't, Jonathan, that's my point. So I think the chamber has organized their debate in a particular way to try to make it, yes, you're getting some answers, you're getting to see how the candidates or the parties think on particular issues, but it can't be this open free for all, people come in and challenging the candidates and asking questions. You know, but if they come on CMR, you have the opportunity to do that. So why don't they all come on CMR and you can challenge them here?
I agree that there has to be a structure, Sandra.
Yes.
What the point that I'm trying to make to you is that there needs to be an objective, truly objective, because we cannot escape the fact that the chamber itself is a lobby for big business in Cayman.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say to you that the average business at the chamber is actually not big business, but you and I will have to agree to disagree on that. I'm a chamber member,
okay,
and I'm not a big business.
For the purposes of the conversation, yes, we can agree to disagree on that right now. Okay?
All right, darling.
What I am asking for here in Cayman is for us to improve, because we're talking and you are discussing and everybody is discussing, you know, the underhandedness of, and it's akin to, I mean, it's cutthroat is what it is. But politics will always be cutthroat. But these folks, potential MPs and sitting MPs, have this opportunity within a system that we have here, which does nothing to give real checks and balances for the well-being and interest of the Cayman people, the electorate. It facilitates the horse trading. It facilitates the selling and the buying of influence. It facilitates and promulgates all of the root causative factors that Cayman is suffering from. Okay? And if we have a system that we continue to accept as just simply the way it is, wherein, as we can think back in recent history, the horse trading debacles. Okay, you had people who voted for somebody, they think that individual is a good moral and ethical compass, and then what do you see? You see them, for the purposes of a political expediency, aligning themselves with some of Cayman's most despicable political parasites. And we have seen this result over and over too many times. We need to look at the system itself in Cayman, and we need to, as a country, we need to evolve for what real democracy is, or at least start that conversation and strive towards it, such as we, the electorate, need to be the one who elects who is our premier, not the MPs. It is putting too much power into the hands of too few people. And it is the actual root causative factor, part of it, of the institutionalized corruption of Cayman from the inside out. That's what I have to say. That's what I believe on.
All right. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. All right, folks. Somebody said, give Jonathan his own talk show. Well, when CMR launches CMR Radio, honey child, you can get a talk show. You can get a talk show. And you can get a talk show. Yes. We're looking for content creators. Yep. Bring it on, honey Jill. Bring it on. So anywho, yes, Jonathan, I mean, you know, it is difficult, I think, to have that kind of debate. However, Aisle 2025 says you can contact the candidates directly. They all have phones, emails, and volunteer workers on their campaigns. So there is that as well. Shaka says, yep, Jonathan needs a talk show for real. John LaRue says, who is Jonathan? That's Jonathan Adam. He has a very, very distinctive voice. The other day, I don't think that I can't remember actually ever seeing Jonathan, believe it or not. And the other day he was at Alwick's meeting and I heard him and I was like, oh my God, is that Jonathan? That voice is so distinctive. He could read like something. I don't know what, some kind of script commercial or something. But yes, when I heard the voice, and then he started to drop those words on us. I said, oh, because somebody else said, no, that I am. And I said, oh, you don't hear that word he just dropped on us? That's like, he got these key phrases. Anywho, Jonathan, yes, honey child. Yeah, I mean, I think that style of debate is less workable. But listen, there are other ways that, as Aisle 2025 said, that you can put them to the test. You can call them, you can talk to them one-on-one. I think when it's a public forum, it is very, very difficult for people to kind of do that, because I've seen people dominate. I didn't go to Alric's second meeting, but I heard of a woman who, you know, her pet issue was mental health. And she spent an exorbitant amount of time at the meeting, kept taking the mic, kept asking questions and going on and on and on and on and on about mental health. And I think that's when you need to do a one-on-one with the candidate. But please, folks, be respectful and remind yourselves that the candidates also have a finite amount of time. So if they're coming to your house and you have issues or concern, you can't expect that they're going to spend 2 hours at your house alone or 3 hours at your house, because then they can't get to anybody else and they're trying to get in. So, you know, maybe learn how to be a little bit more concise with your thoughts and your opinions and stuff like that too. And I could see where a forum would totally get out of, you know, oh, Lord. Y'all would never. Oh my goodness. Marjorie says another case of verbal diarrhea. Lord Jesus. Now I don't know personally the makeup of the chamber. I mean, I'm sure they have a lot of larger companies, but you know, the average size company in the Cayman Islands is not a large company. It is small companies. The chamber obviously has a mandate. They are the Chamber of Commerce. So yes, they are looking out for businesses in Cayman. But having said that, there's a lot of small operations. I can certainly ask the Chamber for a breakdown of their membership, how many small companies, micro businesses and whatever. But, you know, I'm a member of the Chamber and I'm a small business from, you know, way back when with Roque. Roque was a member of the Chamber. And so I do it more for like networking, being able to go to chamber events, and, you know, they will give chamber members discounts and stuff. And, you know, I like to read some of the stuff that they have going on. Their economic forum, I think every year they put that on. They put on some really good events. That's, you know, really quite good and stuff as well. So, you know, Johan, good morning, says, when Auntie Sandy blazing up the Red Army, given their style, why is she blazing up the Red Army? Given their, and then he puts in quotes, which means he's being facetious, their stellar track record of looking after a select few special friends that finance the Red Crew and reward them with political financing in return for favors and contract for services in certain development projects. Hashtag real Cayman kind. Well, we're here to tell the truth, whether it's Red Army, Green Army, Blue Army. It just so happens that the Red folks, you know, their record kind of speaks for itself. Shaka says his favorite phrase is "as pertains to." Tartarian is wondering if Jonathan is an English teacher. No, but where's El Rey this morning? El Rey always jokes with him that he has to pull out the dictionary when Jonathan speaks. Yeah, he does speak at a very, very different level. But he, you know, Jonathan, he's a thinker. He brings a lot of interesting points to the fore. But again, you know, at meetings, at debates, Jonathan, we can't get into, like, you know, you want to go really, 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 really deep. And I think that that's sometimes difficult in those types of platforms. Ms. Joy Sand says they also need to go to the different meetings. They might hear things they're concerned about or ask the candidates what they want. So yes, I mean, meetings are for that. The candidates are going door to door. You know, I was inviting them on this program because that's an excellent opportunity for you guys to be able to engage in them and to come, you know, on the program. And so that's, you know, that's good as well. So what a hot mess. So let's have some of you are sending in some comments. So let me just grab a few of these. Oh my goodness, a couple minutes left in the show. Like I said, I got some projects going around the house. I haven't been doing much overtime this week, as you can well see. So this person says, at least he will get to talk for a few hours if he has his own show. He needs to debate Roy Bodden. Honey child, no sir. I tell you what. Toot, toot. Toot, 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 toot. Oh, no. Okay. Let's have a look at some of these comments. Radio folks, if we go into overtime, y'all know what to do. Swap to social media. So some of these are interesting. Oh my God, my phone last night, memory full on my phone. Poor Marlon, he was up after midnight trying to delete stuff off my phone because I couldn't do anything on it. Oh my God, 1 terabyte. So I'm adding it to my week list of projects. I gotta dump everything. I've been backing it up, so I'm gonna dump it soon. All right. Yes, strong will. Jonathan's came out, and Jonathan is Mike Adams, not Mike. Billy's son. Billy Adam, that's his son. They kind of talk a little bit similar, you know, when you listen to the voices, even how they sound. Yep, he for him. That's right. So yes, of course, Jonathan's Keymanian. All right. This person said I had to step away for a bit, but Joey was lying or misinformed. I'm telling you, PPM called my family members asking them to vote for Chris Saunders. Lord, you saw the pics, LMFAO. I did. And even I was disturbed. And I'm no prude, you know. Don't get me wrong now. It's not 9:30 yet, but you know, I'm no prude. I have seen a lot in my days and whatever. But some of y'all who've been dealing with Chris Saunders, you need to know that he saves all the pictures, all the videos, and I don't know if he's getting these with your permission. So especially you women, because he has a real disrespect for women, y'all might want to know that your stuff has been circulated by Chris Saunders, which that might also be a criminal offense, but I'm not the police. So there you go. And there's one young lady on Facebook, when I saw her in it, I was shocked. I'm like, oh my God, she seems like such a quiet, one of them police officer. That's why he was upset with another one of my friends. Apparently he'd been checking this police officer on and off for years. And then he going around getting pissed off with people. And they're like, I don't know why Chris Saunders isn't like me. That's why, because your side piece is also his side piece and he gets in his feelings about it. I had no idea. Oh my God. Anyway, let's keep it moving. This one says, good morning. If we had that kind of a debate, it would take a whole day plus to get it done. People like Jonathan would be holding the mic all night and part of the day. I'm just saying, Jonathan, that's what you want, but it wouldn't be workable like in the real world, you know? And sometimes we gotta keep it, you know, straight and narrow. Good morning. Chris is another P. Diddy.
Cut.
Hold on. I got to hit that button again. Hold on.
Cut.
I had not even made the correlation in my brain, but that's exactly what it is. Nasty like P. Diddy. Yes. OMG. Lord. Yes, sir. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know about Jay-Z yet because we not proved that yet. Rumors, but ooh, honey child. Ugh. P. Diddy, that man, ooh, he gonna be in jail for a long, long time. They should put him and the next one in a cell together. What's his name again? R. Kelly. P. Diddy and R. Kelly in the same cell. Make them work it out. Anywho, so Phineas says, Sandy, they're calling me too about voting. To me, it's like they're using the phone book and just calling people. So somebody said, so he's Chris Diddy. Lord have mercy. I can't with you all some days, but anywho, 9:28. The radio's soon gonna finish. Y'all would not believe what my eyes saw. It is next level. Oh my God. Oh, the Jonathan Adams Show. That's a good name for your show, Jonathan. Why not? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Yes, honey child. All right. So somebody says, welcome to today's episode of the Jonathan Adams Show. All right. So anywho, I got some editorials as well that Sophia, are we off the radio yet? It's 9:29. I think it cuts like at 9:29. Oh, we need to come off the radio because I need to tell y'all something. Who is this calling me from WhatsApp business? Hold on. Good morning, honey shell. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi. Morning.
This is Julie. I am in Honduras.
Hi.
I am calling.
Hi, Julie.
He's in Toccoa.
Oh, this connection is not good. Do you have access to WhatsApp? Can you call us on WhatsApp?
I could give you my WhatsApp number. You call.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can hear you because I'm having a little bit of an issue. I know you're calling through Facebook Messenger.
Okay, call me at the 924-2749.
Now you sounding much better. What did you do? You sound a lot better now.
I turn off I had it on high voice.
Okay, now we can hear you, Miss Julie. There is a little bit of an echo, so I'm still gonna call you. Hold on one second. Give me the number again.
Yes, ma'am, please, because I don't want to be on the news, nor I don't want to be a hero. I just want to be good to somebody that is lost in my country.
All right, ma'am. Go ahead. Give me the number.
924. 2749.
Okay. And you know we're still on air, right? So when I call you, it's on air. Is that okay?
No, mom, call me private, please.
Oh, you want me to call you private? I'm glad I told you that, honey child. Because right now you're calling the show number, so you're actually on air. No problem. I'll call you back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good.
Okay.
Okay. So by the way, speaking of this man, I do want y'all. So, okay, let me click off the radio. We're no longer in radio. Lord Jesus, please give us some guidance this morning because this is next level. Y'all have no idea. I don't know what to do. Help me out here. Child, let me take CUC off the backdrop because there are certain things that I don't want to get in, even as it relates to Chris. There are certain things that I really don't want to get into. But I feel like if I don't tell you, the people, you're still misguided about how serious this situation is. So tell me straight. When I do my editorial, I want y'all to tell me. As a matter of fact, let's do a vote here. Okay, hold on. Let me do a real-time vote because I want y'all to be honest with me now. I need your help. Okay? When I do, let me put up the question. 1 second. Oh shoot. That's the wrong login. Hold on. Hold on, honey child. I want to delete this one. I don't know what to do. I honestly, legit don't know what to do. So I need y'all help. I need y'all to help me. Okay? Hold on. When I do the editorial on this, because I have to do it on this, I want to talk about why he was fired from deputy premier, why he was fired from his position. I want y'all to help me here, right? So these victims have said to me that they are afraid. And, you know, I am doing my best to protect them. I think I have an obligation to protect victims, right? As someone who has advocated for them, I think that that's the right thing to do. And, you know, that's what I have to do, right? But my question to you, hold on now. No, it's not going to be a Q&A. It's going to be multiple choice. My question to you, should I include what would be adult photos? Of course, I'm going to blur out, and these are not his victims in government. Let me be clear about that, right? These are other people. I just need to show you guys the extent of what this man is up to. So whilst you guys are thinking, he's sitting here talking about pensions and throwing all these numbers, which are not even correct, but you know, he's trying to fool you with this narrative that, oh, I'm a professional. Let's talk about pension plans or whatever. My question to you is this: should I include adult photos in the editorial? Like, how far do you guys want me to go with the editorial? Do I need to just be raw and honest, which part of me wants to do that? And then another part of me is like, no, don't do that. Just leave it up to the imagination, like describe it to people. But see, y'all don't understand how bad this is. So I feel like by me describing it to you, you're gonna be like, oh, she's exaggerating. She's a prude. She probably only had one little boyfriend in her life. She don't know nothing about it. You know, I don't know. Like, for example, when you saw the video of Diddy and how he dragged that woman in the hotel room and like beat the shit out of her, Casey or whatever her name is, right? All of a sudden you understood, wow, this dude is a monster. He not no regular, like I can just push my girlfriend. No, he will drag you and beat you to a pulp. Bruises, black and blue. Like when you saw that, that was different, was it not? So help me decide. Only one person voted. Scan the code. I'm going to put the link here as well. Help me decide how raw you want it. No pun intended. You know, you want it raw or you still want me to go easy? This is something that we can't even put on air, yo. This is next level. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I need to get Instagram back because I want the Instagram people to vote as well. They just got disconnected. So tell me how you want it, okay? It is definitely, you know, it's tough because I don't know. I don't know what to do. So I need your help. I need your guidance with this. Can I just leave it up to your imagination and that's enough? Or do you want to see the real Chris Saunders? Because I don't even know if I can describe this stuff to y'all. Oh my God. So hold on, let me do the screen share and then I'll grab the link and share that as well. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm torn. Like, I don't know what to do. I need some help. Good morning, caller.
Hey, Sandy. Good morning.
Morning. What do you think about this? I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you no.
No. Okay.
No. Be the bigger person. You've got the story. You've got the proof. What? You got the receipts.
Will you just believe me though if I try to describe it to you?
Sandy, I feel like I know you, but I don't know you.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. And I think to be the bigger person,
yeah,
your character, your integrity, don't. No matter what people say, do, don't.
Okay.
You've got the proof. You've got the pictures.
Yeah.
You have all the receipts you need. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone that's out here listening to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Please, for your own sake, I'm begging you, don't. And if it comes down to where you have to, for whatever other reason later, you have that documented proof that supports you and backs you up 100%.
All right.
So,
thank you.
So save it for that rainy day, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, this might be the rainy day now because we need to get someone like him out of office who is a straight up predator.
Well, I understand that too. I get what you're saying. But right now, if people walk around blinded, that's on them. That is on them. You know, you know my situation too. And to expose somebody, it gets you little to nowhere here in Cayman because the people in positions in government are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. I mean, it's a scenario, but it's similar with what I am dealing with government. It goes nowhere. It falls on deaf ears. I'm still trying to get answers 7 months later from government. Nothing. Matter of fact, I am now being ignored, and I have exposed with documents and pictures, and I'm getting nowhere. Nowhere.
All right. So thank you, darling. I appreciate it.
Just your integrity. That integrity.
Okay, thank you. Well, 87% of you want to see. You're like, yes. Let's read some of the comments. Marshall says, go all raw. Lord have mercy. Roar came in, says, do what you always do, Sandy. Fix it. Chris the Diddler says, justice will be served. Marshall says his nasty behavior is what has sent his mother to the hospital. Then he wants to put it in Parliament and threaten people. Disgusting. Oh my God. Justice says, I'm late today. Chris is always at that lady's house. I wonder if she on it. I wouldn't be surprised. What lady? I don't know what lady you're talking about. Oh, Lord. Tartarian says, boy, you're determined to clean up Cayman. Enough is enough. We're too small to get it right. We're too small. We need to get it right. Risa says no photos. So she's one of the 12% that's saying no. Justice says, is there a Rasta lady on it from Newlands? This is funny. She doesn't work government, but she does hold position elsewhere. Oh, I don't know about no Rasta lady. Paul says, no, we only care about the civil servant victims. Can they come on your show? Paul, they are so afraid, even now, because of the way in which he victimized them. They were afraid of losing their jobs. Listen, they're saying if this man gets reelected and he's put back in there, because the way in which it went down, right? The complaints went to France Manderson. You see, this is why low-key, I'm kind of pissed off at France Manderson right now because he wouldn't give me anything by FOI. Let me show you what they gave me, which is a bunch of crock, really. But because he wouldn't, you guys are having to take my word for it. And I actually don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to legit know exactly what has gone down. Like proof of the letter, the whole 9 yards. So what they did do is they sent me a redacted email. Please. Let me see if I can save this for y'all. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So this is a redacted email. I'm confused about what the redacted email is even about. It's just weird. So they give me this long multi-page letter about why they're saying no, or his personal information. You know, listen, he's a servant of the people. And the dude was fired as a servant of the people. And now he's seeking to get back in there. Do you not want to know what he was actually up to? That really becomes the salient question. Now, you can take my word for it. That last caller says, I feel like I know you. I believe you. But there's a lot of you who are like, maybe Sandy's exaggerating. You know, there's a whole anti-CMR clan out there. And they're like, no, we're not gonna believe her, you know, because if she say she team TCCP, she team PIMP. Oh wait, not PIMP, that's pimp. She team CINP. Who told them CINP? Do they not know how that kind of sounds like PIMP? I could see y'all making a little meme song off of that. And I'm giving y'all no ideas now, but I'm just saying. You know, this is the thing about it. Shaka says a picture speaks 1,000 words. When you see would you elect P. Diddy to political office? P. Diddy can sing. We love his music, whatever. But once we see another side of P. Diddy, we're like, no, he definitely don't need to be up on no stage. Cancel him. So I'm concerned when I hear women saying, oh, but Chris Saunders handed me a manifesto and that's enough to convince me. I'm like, women, we have to stand together against our sisters who have been on the receiving end of this man, who've been traumatized by him. Y'all don't get it, yo. This is no joke. They reached out to the civil service members, reached out to France Manderson, complained to France. France had to then go to Wayne Panton and say to Wayne Panton, you have got to do something about this because I have no control over MPs. But I have control over my civil servants. And the civil servants are coming to me and complaining. And then, thank God they had the code of conduct for cabinet, which is one of the great things that the PAC government insisted on doing. Give Wayne Panton his credit where it's due. He was able to then write to the governor and say, remove him. Now, y'all don't think it's low-key suspicious that the governor's office, I did an FOI for the governor's office, right? To the governor's office. Because I know that she would have had to receive correspondence to revoke his instruments of appointment as minister and deputy premier. And you know, they came back and told me that they don't have anything. Why are people lying to me? Because I mean, I know that that's a lie. Of course you had something. You had something that came through cabinet. So I went back to them and I said, how can you tell me that you don't have something? You would not have been able to revoke and fire Chris Saunders if you did not have a letter from cabinet. From the premier's office, I mean. So I feel like something else is afoot here. Why are they protecting Chris Saunders? You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this is where I have some questions. What is going on here? If you are an elected official and you get fired, why can't the voters, the people in this country who are now going to the polls on April the 30th, why can they not know that information? But you see how bold-faced he is when he stood up in Parliament and he threatened, I don't know exactly who he was threatening, but as far as I'm concerned, he was threatening all the people of the Cayman Islands. When he threatened us, imagine if that, I try not to curse for 2025, but I can tell you what, I gotta say a little word here this morning. Imagine if that son of a bitch was in his office where he felt nobody was watching him. Imagine how he was torturing and what he was saying to those civil servants. And y'all want to know why they're afraid? This man got up in the House of Parliament, which he knows is being televised and being recorded, and threatened people. And not only threatened people, but said he would get away with it. And y'all think it's a joke? That the civil servants are afraid? Wow. Shaka says a picture speaks 1,000 words. Tartarian says, I understand, but no, we get the picture. Well, I don't know if you do, but let's see. Justice will be served, says, go raw with only 5 pictures tomorrow, Friday. No, we're not going to do it as part of the show. Gabby says, keep it raw, keep it real. Melanie House says, go raw. We're not going to do it as part of the show. Let me tell you how it would be done. So, you know, I've done a couple of these separate editorial pieces, right? And I've got a couple already in my what we call our action board. So I've got a couple on my board already that I'm working on. One is about candidates who are dishonest about their qualifications. One is about, picking apart what the candidates actually say. And I have to do one on Chris Saunders about the sexual situation. And I want to be very, very clear, right? There are other people, some of these other MPs who are, they do low-key stuff as well when it comes to trying to pressure people to have relationships with them, sexual relationships. But they're like down here on what they do. So they're going to sweet talk you like most Caribbean men, like, oh, talk to me, man. I want your number and, whatever. He used, going back to what this person shared, I think, in my personal opinion, that what he was doing is a criminal offense. I'm just going to be honest with you. It is criminal. But these women, my understanding is they were happy because, of course, look at what happened with the McKeeva Bush case. Civil servants getting hickeys from him, and they're still defending him and talking about, well, they don't know if a hickey is a criminal offense, right? The one victim that did come forward, now everybody questioning her and looking at her with a side eye. So they're legitimately afraid to make it a police thing. They don't want to be dragged through the courts. But you hear them talking about, one-on-one meetings, how he was texting them, sexual in nature, comments on physical attributes about their breasts and all this kind of stuff. It is just next level fucking mind-boggling what this man was doing to these civil servants. I don't even know. Keep in mind, right? We had Sarah Orrit complain. Let's put this in some context. I showed you all the letters. Sarah Orrit, bless her heart, sweet person. She complained that Bernard Bush said something inappropriate to her. And it was inappropriate. He wasn't saying it to her, but it was a joke and her earshot, and he shouldn't have said that either. She wanted over $700,000. Huh? For words that he said to her. These civil servants who were subjected to so much more than that, it wasn't a one-off, poorly placed joke. It was sustained sexual harassment from the second he got on the job as deputy premier and minister in government, and it went on until when he got fired. When was it that Chris Saunders got fired? Well over a year. So they were even afraid to initially speak up. It took them a long time to find the courage. When they finally went to the deputy premier, they're like, listen, we're afraid. Some of them had to be put on leave for mental health reasons. So I'm trying to convey to you guys how bad it is, but I have a sense that even though I'm doing that a lot of you are still not getting it. And that's the only reason why I asked this question here. Do you want it raw? Island Pearl says, nope, don't stoop to their level, Sandy. And it's not about stooping to level. It's about, do you really want the true evidence of what this man has time and energy for? Roar says, replace his face with P. Diddy's face or R. Kelly. Daisy says, raw all the way. I mean, it's funny that 85% of you, more people should vote. Sue says, I had friends who he put through hell. He put them through hell. Oh my God. Faded Mary Jean says, be the bigger nothing. You're a journalist. No time for small island mentality. He needs to move. So if I don't give it to you guys raw, I feel like some of you are not going to believe me. Some of you still don't believe that this man was fired because he's going out to tell people, no, he never got fired. He resigned because of the Maya 1 cable. And he wants to create this fake narrative about C3 and Wayne Panton and this and that. And he resigned over the dump. None of that is true. None of that is friggin' true. He is a liar. And the other thing that insulted me, I mean, this is now where I take personal insult, is when the man came up in my house and stood in my living room and lied to me. because he knew the writing was on the wall about that blue, what's it called again? Blue, oh God, what was the name of the thing again? Oh, the LFT story. Paul, the man, says, I would say no photos. The ladies might go into depression, and that's a bigger mess. But I mean, no ladies will be shown. I will remove their faces unless y'all been with them. You're not gonna know what their boobies look like. Gabby says, Sandy, keep you raw, because when it about Mac Diddy, you go all out. Well, I mean, you do mean McKeever Bush. That's another one that we no longer need to keep in office. He's disgusting. I mean, I can't believe McKeever Bush. Y'all know how many men, by the way, my lawyers, he got served his papers yesterday. And he's called me some names that, boy, if I see him, it's a good thing I have control, because I'd punch him in the eye. Now he wants to claim that his phone was hacked. What a liar. At least stand up to me. You mad enough to call me names and call me a thief and the WHOR word. Come and stand up to me and face me in court. That way your fat ass better be prepared to do. You see how cowardly they are? Oh, now your phone was hacked 2 days after I made it public that I was going to be suing your behind. Your phone was hacked. You better find my fucking money to pay me. That way you better try and do. You have some blood clot nerves calling me that when you're trying to go and get with men. Don't have me have some of them give statements on your offers. Nasty little thing. And trust me, if he's into men, that's his business. The problem I have with him is he goes out there cursing homosexuals, cursing gay people, trying to make them the devil. And it seems like that's what he actually is himself. And if he would just admit it, maybe he would have had a happier life. Y'all want to get married and have children when that ain't who you are. You better leave them gay people alone. Because, not for them, know your dirt. We know where you be sticking. Child, let me behave myself. It's only Thursday. Friday, part 1. Y'all not ready for this. Oh, Lord. The 13 says, LOL, if it had been my extracurricular activities, I wouldn't want nobody to see the receipts. Well, you see, this is it. Because you're not an MP. So, I mean, other people, the 13 might be showing it for other reasons, but I wouldn't be in your business. I don't really care what you out there doing. There are other stuff that have come to me. There's a guy who works at a particular airline in Cayman. Last year, his girlfriend was calling him out because she found that he was in a relationship with another man. They were saying that was actually his cousin. I was like, ew, what the fuck? Your cousin? Anywho, Lord Jesus. So here she was thinking he was straight, and turns out the boy, not, whatever. Some of y'all low key and the down low. That's between him and her, but she actually went on social media and outed him and all kind of stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm not getting into that. The same guy, Morgan, who just went to jail. He just got, I think, 18 months. We didn't even talk about him getting sentenced for harassing his lover, another guy. He had sent me, I didn't even remember, because he had sent me stuff about the guy and he wanted me to expose him. I don't do that. I'm like, no. He's an adult. You're consenting. I don't know what the two of you going on with. Now there's some lovers quarrel, bickering. I'm not getting involved in it. CMR, not doing none of that shit. But when you become an MP, when you're out there harassing people and actually blackmailing people about you got photos of them and this, that, and the next thing. I have friends that he told me he got photos of and he's blackmailing them from 20 years ago. He must have a treasure trove. The police need to go check his hard drives. So does he get to continue to get away with this? Carla says, I agree with that caller. I believe you as well. But you don't have to share the pictures. All right. Justice says the caller sounds like he's on the video pictures. No. John LaRue says if this guy is running for office, the public has a right to know, but maybe avoid the explicit pictures. John, I'm just trying to tell you guys about it, but most of you look like you want to see the pictures. I don't know if y'all just, what do you call those people who just like to look? peeping toms kind of thing. But no, I mean, I don't know. Shaka Zulu says Caymanians need things like pictures that are involved in the accusations. So I don't know. Faded Mary Jean says, why don't you call the Times, the Guardian, Fox, CNN, News is News, and This is Politics, and other news sources, and tell them to be the bigger person? Kiss my teeth. Faded Mary Jean's like, I want to see these pictures. Richard says we do not have a recall system, so there's not a mechanism for retracting Chris if he gets his seat again. So that does add to the severity of the upcoming elections. And this is it. This is it. Because he is an intelligent person. This is the part that I find so disappointing about him. Because I've never said, he's not intelligent. I mean, obviously he speaks well. He doesn't need no notes or a piece of paper. But how do you juxtapose that against this personality flaw? Nobody's perfect. We all have our little quirks and personality flaws and whatever, but this is at the level of a P. Diddy, and it interferes with his ability to do his work. That is why he got fired. Wayne Panton didn't request him to be fired because of anything with finance, although I don't think he's really doing the best job. But it wasn't about that. It was about, you can't come in here as a leader of this country, community leader, country leader, and sexually harass people. Imagine if this man has to go overseas to conferences. Maybe that's why he was always up in Jamaica under what a prime minister of Jamaica called Andrew Holiness, and then making these secret trips every 2 minutes running to Jamaica. He might have been sexually harassing people there. You know what kind of reputation that gives us as a country? Sending people like him and McKeeva Bush overseas, and they be trying to tap people, bonking, all kind of thing. When do we say that this kind of behavior, enough is enough? I mean, not to steal the slogan from TCCP, but enough is enough. It is no wonder in this country we cannot get sexual protection for women and children. No sex offender registry, because McKeeva know one of these days his ass can be on it. Chris Saunders can probably be on it too. You understand what I'm saying? It interferes with their ability to do their jobs. And that's what y'all need to see. That really is the point. It's not about me being up in this man's business and being all that concerned about who he's screwing from who he not screwing. I could give two shits. It is about enough is enough. At what point do you not allow someone like him to even have the opportunity? Private sector will have to make their decision on what it is they're going to do if he applies to them. But the man has a long and extensive history. He was doing it at Digicel, allegedly, at HSBC, allegedly. That's how some people secured loans at HSBC. Some of the female workers, they would have never gotten a loan, but because they were being subjected to sexual harassment and they gave in, they would let him touch their bubbles, feel them up, get a little something, something, something. So all of a sudden you can get a $500,000 loan that you can't qualify for. And that is why in the end, they end up losing their homes. It was clear from day one that they didn't really qualify for it, but he was a big honcho over there. So if he said, give this person a loan, that person got a loan. Lee says, as much as we would want to see it, I don't think it's going to make a difference for their people. They will still go ahead and vote him in. Lord Jesus, really? Oh my God. Sue says he's not going to get voted back in. Oh, Johan says what? What the hell your tea and dry up brown is? Hashtag tea and dry up brown. You're such a fool. Greg says a picture is worth 1,000 words. Morning, Siobhan. I hope you had a good birthday weekend. Roar came out and says maybe they're looking at more than his manifesto too. Heard about the goods and want to give it a try. Lord Jesus. Marshall says, I don't understand why France would be covering up Chris' nasty behavior. I mean, the FOI talking about protecting him. I'm like, protecting him? What the fuck? Jonathan Ebanks. Which Jonathan Ebanks is this? Says, why don't you let the people of Bontown West choose? Chris, every day you trying your best to get Ozzy elected versus Chris. Oh, okay. That's what the issue is. Yeah, okay. I've never heard a civil servant. Ozzy had his moment with one civil servant calling her, what is it again? What the hell the wood call again? Driftwood. But I've never heard him sexually harassing civil servants. I've never heard him asking them to do illegal things like paying certain bills. Nobody not quiet about that, Jonathan. You see, when y'all come in here and you've not been paying attention, right? You just come in here with your bullshit. We asked the first day that Ozzy was on the show, we pressed him about that and the cow cod situation, and Ozzy answered it. So what you need to do, see, this is where now y'all starting to get on my blood clot nerves, trying to paint me to be unfair when it comes to this show. Nobody ain't got no time for that. Okay, let me be very clear. Anybody who comes on here has to respond to the questions on this show, which the majority of them are coming from the listeners. And so the bottom line is this. That question was asked of him. If you didn't hear it, Jonathan, that means that you, John, to come late into the classroom and you not been paying attention. So what you need to do, instead of trying to throw dispersions, and is that the right word? Aspersions? What's the word I'm looking for? My way, take yourself back to that episode of the show and go listen, and you will actually see for yourself that he was put to task. Do you have anger issues? What about Driftwood? And he answered the question, and he has taken responsibility, and he's accepted that he was wrong, and he's moved on. You see, Jonathan, why are you in the comments trying to get salty with me? Let me tell you something. What we have here is a different type of person, okay? Because we have someone who will get in parliament and threaten people, as opposed to admit that he needs to see a psychiatrist, admit that he needs help, and get the blood clot help that the man needs. He's not doing that. So when you defend him, you not know better than him, Jonathan Ebanks. Now, is this the same Jonathan Ebanks that I blocked already? You not know better than him. So don't come at me with your foolishness, you know. If he would even admit that, yes, I have a problem, he's the one going around telling people, right, that his father, his first sexual experience, his father forced him to be with a prostitute. He has told people that. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. I was not there. But if he had to tell people that kind of bullshit story, that's coming out of Chris Saunders' own mouth. Okay? You would tell me if he don't need some help. I don't know what that poor prostitute did to him. But boy, she must have damaged him psychologically. So come again. Don't make this about me. This is not about me. Justice will be served, says Sandra. Please, please, please release the photos. Raw. I want to see if the Rasta lady, try and behave yourself. I don't know what Rasta lady you're talking about. Try and behave. Roar says murder. Lala says, I tuned in late. What we talking about? Oh, Lala, we have not seen you in a while. Welcome to the show. King says, no, man, I tuned in to fuckery this morning. Behave yourself, King. Hello, King. Join us from the UK. Gabby says, Jesus, looks like I need to grab the coffee, put down the coffee and grab a shot this morning. Let me see now. Let me see. Oh, my God. Wow. This person says Joey's not truthful. They're working together. He talks about special interest groups. Yet look what group he was director for. Oh yeah, did Chris ever pay that $100,000 fine? We gotta figure that out. He loves to see other men's wives' naked pictures. Hit him, sis. I got them. Ladies, you all know yourself. Don't let me call in. Reach Auntie Sandy, mess with the daughter, then the mother. This is nasty. Lots of albums of him in the phone. With all these ladies, why y'all make people like this take video and take your picture when y'all doing these things outside of your marriages and good relationships? Lick him, sister. By the way, be careful of some people with Haman behavior against us. Please read the book of Esther. It's very short. Won't take long to read. Read the story about Haman and what he did to who? Mordecai. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Yes, sir. Oh. Oh, my God. This person says, just post them. I'm a visual person. Effing finish him. Just post them. Who don't want to view, don't view. Lord have mercy. A conspiracy theorist is someone who questions the popular narrative. So you are a CT because you're always questioning authority. It's a good thing. This person says, oh my God. Chris is a nasty. See you next Tuesday. Y'all know what that stands for. I'm here in the UK and he did not send a shield to help her. She government up there. I can't quite understand that one. When someone is in the journalist space, you have an obligation to produce evidence of the details you're sharing. However, if you're coming from a space of just gossiping, you're not compelled to share your evidence. I think you should ask the individual ladies in the photos and let them make the decision. I don't even know these people. Lord. This person says it wasn't Jean, it was Roper. No. No, he wasn't fired when Roper was here. Roper already had left. Let me fact check when he got fired. Oh Lord, when was that? 20. No, it was definitely this woman. It was her. It would have been. Oh God. When was that? Oh, I think it was. Oh, I can't remember the exact date, to be honest. But no, it was definitely this governor. Let me see. I can't remember exactly when. No, Matt, it wasn't Governor Roper. It was. Deputy Premier. When was he removed? It was Governor Roper? No. Hold on. Let me fact check something. I'm pretty sure it was her. Somebody else says it was Governor Roper. I don't think so, I don't think so. I got soon confirm. I'm sure it was her. But I can't remember when it was. So who took over as deputy premier? Juliana O'Connor Conley, right? Juliana appointed deputy premier. Let me see if I can find this one. Oh, okay. Hold on. He had a blowout with oh Lord, what's his name? He had a blowout with, oh my God, with Roper, but that's not what led to him. It was March 2023. So he had a blowout with Roper, but Roper actually left. And so that was not, let me see if I can find the exact date. Let me see here now. So it was March of 2023, March 21st. And he claims that he resigned. That would have been, I'm pretty sure she was in place by then. Yes, it was Roper at the time. Huh. Okay, I stand corrected. It was Roper. Wow. I for some reason, I thought it was her. So when did the new governor come? She wasn't here yet. Andre became deputy premier. Julie became premier. No. Y'all confusing stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. No. No. Okay. All right. Well, it was Roper. All right. And then he was saying that Roper didn't. This person said he was saying that Roper didn't like Black people. Oh, okay. He spoke briefly on it yesterday. Where? Who spoke on that? Chris? Oh, all right. Marshall says I'm ready for it. Melody, sorry. Says make it a double. Gina, good morning. Yes, it was Roper. I stand corrected. I don't know why I thought it was Miss Jean. All right. So, but the office would still have kept those documents. That is something that you gonna not have even as a new governor. Gina says K-Man had better wake up, do the right thing. The ball's in your court. Vote wisely. Roar says all that short man is going on with. That's sick shit now. Yo. Yes, I mean, oh my God, I can't even. Stephanie says a picture would tell 1,000 words. Oh. Anyway, I'm going to think on it some more. And this is why we need a code of conduct, not just for cabinet, but every single MP. Faded Mary Jane wondering if she can get it. She can show her bubbles and get a loan. He not got no money to give you, child. I don't know what you're looking for. All right. Anyway, continue to vote in the poll. Let me check the poll results. What are we looking at here? 81% say show the evidence. I'm going to think on it. I don't know. Roar says, throw it on him proper. Oh, careful how you say that, my dear. People might get the wrong idea. He's trying to find her back through all his victims. Shots fired. You're gone too far, Biggs, says Johan in the Teddy Brooke shot voice. You're gone too far, Biggs. Thank you, King, sending us love from the UK. Appreciate it, honey child. Marshall says, keep the Bible out of this. We're on a different topic this morning. Lord have mercy. Morning, God of Egypt. Siobhan says people need to stop being enablers of people disgusting behavior. Justice says, Zulu, do you want to see the photos? Heard Chris using up the honeys on the ladies. Long distance runner, Bobo. I don't even know what that means, but okay. Morning, Adrian. Anthony says, Sandy, do you know if Raleigh is in any way in discussion with PPM? Doing Sterling seems like he would join PPM. I would hope not, Ralston, but I guess time will tell. He would have to join PPM. Morning, Miss Brenda, and she confirms it was under Roper. I don't know why I was thinking it was this new governor. Well, maybe Roper is the only one who had the balls, because this new one, she's nice but soft. So she probably wouldn't be able to do it. We got to stand up for each other. I mean, they finally passed the sexual harassment bill. Let's see when that's going to come into effect. We'll probably never see that for another 20 years. That'll be so outdated. Sure. I'm so sick and tired of the foolishness in this country. I mean, you can't even, you're a civil servant. You're making a couple of dollars. You're trying to support your family. Some of these people, single parents, all kind of thing. You're going to your low government job, right? You know, they're already cussing civil service and telling y'all, oh, you got to do better, whatever. Some of y'all do. Some of y'all do, to be fair. You know, but you trying your best, and then you have to be subjected to this. People texting you after hours, inviting you to that building there on 7 Mile Strip because they have underground parking, Because, if we go there, nobody not gonna see you coming in the hotel room with me. This puts a lot of pressure on people. People can't take this kind of pressure. And they should not have to be subjected to it. You should not be propositioning people like this in your place of work. You are their boss. You're their supervisor. What the heck? It's horrible. Like I said, this is P. Diddy stuff. This person says no amount of therapy can ever help a malignant narcissist. Among other traits, what happened to Cayman being a Christian island? Well, we know that's a lot of a joke. This person says that's why Chris and McKeever are such good friends. They're sick alike. And they also know that not only are they sick alike, but they also know where the bodies are hidden for each other. Yes, he got stuff. Thank you, voyeurism. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Yes. He got stuff on McKeever, and McKeever got stuff on him. And now I tell you, I don't know, McKeever must be out of his mind when he wants to sit down, but my lawyers fix his ass. He would not even accept the letter yesterday to me. Oh, I'm not gonna sign for that. Well, you don't have to sign for it, sir. You were served. You were served. Lala, as far as I know, he's not joining PPM. Don't go throwing that out there. But I don't think you have to worry about PPM. They're pretty much done for anyway. But listen to me now. They have dirt on each other, and that's why they keep quiet about a lot of things that are going on. You don't think these guys don't know what he was up to? Some of the other cabinet members? Yep. All them low-key want to be friends with him. Kenneth, I'm talking to you, honey child. You and Chris were like Bench and Batty. Or Batty and Bench, or however the saying goes. You and him friends. You don't know if he really resigned, whatever. Really? You know he got fired. You just choosing to believe him because he's your friend. You better choose your friends a little bit more wisely because he be cutting your throat too. Because some of y'all, he be getting pictures on y'all too. So, yeah. Because he know what people got on him, and he can have something on you. I keep telling y'all, what a mess. Yep. Yeah, I see it, Bobo. Oh, Sherry Ann, why you don't just shut the fuck up? I mean, why you don't shut up? Well, y'all want me to play that clip? Shut all the way to fuck mountain. Just shut up. You another one. All they have to do is throw a couple dollars at you, and you spreading it wide and selling this country down the river, trying to influence voters in this country to support the likes of McKeever Bush. Shut up about him. That man is a pig. He is disgusting. Talking about he grandfather the house. Grandfather of what? Y'all need to have your head examined if you are still voting for McKeever Bush. I bet you he's so unclean that this phone it was hacked too. Such a liar. He knows how easy it is to verify if your phone was hacked. He think people stupid. McKeever, shut up and find my defamation money. You hear me? This is him this morning. Oh, that is no newspaper. Well, you're not a real man. You're a disgusting piece of shit is what you are. Abuser of women, wife beater, woman beater. Huh? I can say these things because they're true. Why you don't stop propositioning men for sexual favors and then the same Sunday running up in church and singing in the church choir? Why don't you do that? Be who you are. You want to be with men? Leave that poor woman alone that you've tormented her entire life. And here's Sherry Ann getting in the comments defending him and his nonsense. Leave my Mac alone. How much money he paying you these days? I mean, you available to not even the highest bidder to anybody can throw a few dollars at you. Alden, back in the day, then you get vexed with him. After that, dried up. Chris Saunders, McKeever Bush, who else? Some of y'all are just for sale. Not even for sale to the highest bidder, just for sale to anybody. Who is Ryan Ebens? So she's so stupid. They're like, you got it wrong. I think you got the wrong message. Oh my God. Poor them. McKeeva. Yeah, you're such a coward. Why you didn't accept that lawyer's letter yesterday? I've never been served a letter or an affidavit or a document that I wouldn't sign for and accept. You some big time man who can, oh yeah, you so bigoted, this and that. Why you never signed for the letter when it was served on you yesterday? Coward. Run to your lawyer. Oh, I need to. He took it. Hear how stupid McKeeva is. He took out the letter and read it. Oh, she the last one that should be suing anybody. Really? Really? You think that you're gonna tell lies on me and I'm gonna sit here forever and take it? Okay, Bobo. The gloves are off. The gloves are off. McKeeva. Boy, I tell you. I'm gonna have to go dig up some pictures on YouTube. Try and get this man out of office. Useless. In there for 40 blasted years. Almost as old as me. And not doing nothing in the last 20 of the 40 years. Stop voting trash into office. He can't hold a candle to Miss Julie. Now listen, I ain't not no party person. Y'all know that already. Miss Julie's with CIMP. Some of them don't need to get in, but y'all need to vote her in. I gotta give her an endorsement here this morning. Okay? They can't compare. You can't compare trash over on this side and a woman who's been committed to her community for years. Time for the nonsense to stop. Instagram folks, I'm almost finished here because Lord knows I gotta make my blood pressure go up today if I continue on with this show. Anyway, what it is that what is saying they're reviewing something from today? What it is they're reviewing? I don't even know what these people were reviewing. Somebody reported my show this morning. But the show don't be on there anyway. That's so stupid. Oh, y'all so petty. That must be Chris. Anyway, we'll appeal it, but that's fine because the show doesn't stay on there, so we're not business with that. But anyway, so this is what I'm telling y'all now. I'm gonna have a think about it. I haven't quite made up my mind, although the majority of you are saying yes. Share it. I'll see. Oh, the Rasta woman is in it. You lie. Which Rasta woman? Oh my God. Which Rasta woman this is? Rasta woman? I don't know no Rasta women. What the hell? Anyway, it sounds like I need to go and archive these pictures, man. There's so many of them. Lord Jesus, I can't. All right. Listen, this is the bottom line. You cannot come to run as a representative of the people. There's going to be an editorial that's going up today about one running in Prospect. Get ready for that, right? People are submitting stuff. They're calling into question your behavior. I've seen the video footage. You guys cannot do these things and think that you're going to get elected to public office and people are not going to call you to account. That is no longer, maybe, because Under the Compass and others, they're not business with that. But I have a firm belief that people who have no integrity and no character in business, in their personal lives, we should not be electing them to public office. If you were going to sit here and lie, Heyman Rankin, cousin Heyman, you listening to me carefully? If you're going to embellish, we're not even going to call it embellishment. We're going to call it what it is. If you're going to lie about your professional accreditations and accomplishments, we are going to have a problem. Come with the truth, Bobo. All right? If you are going to, I mean, I don't even know what Heyman was thinking at the debate the other day. Like I said, I'm family to him, come family to the Rankins. They're my cousins. But he gonna get up and talk about Biggie. Rankin couldn't read until his mother, the concubine, taught him how to read? Listen to me. What? Now, first of all, Biggie is not here to defend himself. Let me defend, and I did not know Biggie that well. And, you know, those are cousins. I'm not hanging out with them. So let me be very clear, just like I'm not hanging out with Heyman. You're an outside child. Okay. I think most people know that your mother was carrying on. Now she want to be Cayman's biggest Christian, but some while ago she was Cayman's biggest something else, fill in the blank. She was carrying on a relationship with a married man for umpteenth years and then got pregnant for the married man and had you. Ease up. Pump the MF brakes. Okay? Because I got to share something with you. There's a degree of respect that you must walk with. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience why I feel this way. Okay? My father was a disrespectful man when it came to cheating on women. He had 3 children outside of his marriage. The 4th one he had before he got married. Then he got married and had 3 children outside his marriage. I don't condone that. And I'm one of the 3 children. So I'm like you, Heyman, the product of an affair. Okay? And there were things that I would never think of saying to his wife. I respected the ground that woman walked on because the shit that my father put her through was wrong every day of the week, 365 days. So let me be clear. Don't try putting your mommy up on no pedestal now. But she taught Biggie Rankin how to read, because I'm pretty sure by the time she got involved with Biggie Rankin, he was an established businessman. I never heard nobody say that Biggie Rankin couldn't read. Look at what he built in Cayman. The legacy that he has left for his children. Even you, even her. Didn't he fix her up with some daycare center or some foolishness? Tell her to hush her mouth, and by extension, Heyman, do not insult your father and his legacy. You need to shut your mouth too. Now, when I heard this story, and I'm going to go get the clip, that you brought this up in a debate, I was like, what the hell is wrong with Heyman? Here you know, Bobo. I don't know what kind of relationship you had with Biggie. Maybe you have daddy issues. But the forum for that is not the candidate forum. Okay? Your mommy was looking for a payday. Let me be very clear. I doubt there was any real love there. Biggie was established, had money, could give her a certain lifestyle. That was what that was all about. So we're not here to try and, I mean, you know, she believes in exorcisms, all this other foolishness. Again, she might need a little bit of therapy. But I had no intentions of saying nothing about your mother. You're the one who put this in the public domain. Trying to put her up here on a pedestal and trying to make Biggie in the Rankin family look bad. You have lost your goddamn mind. Heyman Rankin, you have lost your mind. Find something else to say and find something else to talk about. Bobo, you went off script, because I'm sure Dan Scott never put that in your little booklet. You see, when you're trying to be bigotive and you go off script, how stupid you come across and how stupid you look. Don't disrespect that man and his legacy. And you have half siblings out there. They must be looking at you like WTF. Somebody said Biggie paid for her education. So I don't know what lies she's telling you. But she would not even be where she is today in terms of qualifications if it wasn't for Biggie Rankin. Have some respect for your father and leave his name out of this debate. This ain't got nothing to do with him. Okay? And by extension, your mom may look like she's a little bit crazy sometimes. So maybe you don't want to bring her up in it either, because that's not going to gain you any votes. When people figure out that your mama was the one doing the exorcism on them children and pressing them about, oh, are you a lesbian? Are you homosexual? Blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. They might not even vote for you, you damn fool. What you bring that up for? No, sir. Somebody said give yourself a quadruple kaboom. Kaboom! We'll do one. But I was shocked when I heard about it, because I wasn't sitting there scrutinizing him. You know, I said, well, a lot of people say he's not really that bright, to be honest, and he's not the best worker and whatever. I said, all right, well, let's see what a little boy can do. You know, he in my constituencies. I wait and hear from him and whatever. I got his little flyers and ray. But then when I hear this story and this mix up, I said, what the hell? No, Bobo. When you are the product of an affair, I think that you need to respect. Is Big wife still alive? She's still around? And you saying these things? You got, like I said, you got his children, his other children that were product of the marriage? Yes, you should have never said that. Not in a million years, Bobo. What do you? Lord Jesus, something wrong with y'all. Oh, my God. If y'all need family therapy, don't do it at the Chamber Forums. Go somewhere else and get it, because that's not the place for it. This person says, so true, Sandra. Morning. That's why she was with him for the money. Another Sherry Ann. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Mercy Divine says, roar. I mean, am I right or am I right? Because I know I ain't wrong. So am I right or am I right? Strong Will says, Sandy, Biggie wife took care of him more than his mother. Give Biggie wife credit. Well, she must be a good woman, because I tell you what, to have put up with the likes of Haman's mother going around flaunting herself, no, sir. And then getting pregnant for the man, you know. And as a matter of fact, would this be the same child? Because like I said, they're family, so sometimes I hear little here and there. Is this the same woman who actually was helping her raise the child? Helping her with this outside child and took so good care of the child? Is that the same one, or am I mistaken? Morning, caller.
Good morning. What I got to say about this, the best candidate for Bordentown West and Bordentowners on the listen is TCCP. All the way. Throw the other two trashes away. I could give you a little bit about this story, but I don't want to say nothing, because I don't want to bother bashing me, because you'll never get me off your show. But they got quality and whatever. His mother was a good woman. I could give you a little history on this boy mother, but I don't want to go to it. But she no good. He wrong for dissing his father like that, because I knew Biggie very good. The first computer that my children had were from Palmer.
Hold on, honey child. She actually had two children for Biggie?
Yes, she had a girl and a boy.
No.
And I had to send Miss Ruth were very good, because I said, because I had an incident with her, and I tell her, I'm not going to be Miss Ruth, I will bust your ass. And then Uncle Bud, I don't know who remember Bud Gordon Preschool on Cool Road. On Walker Road. My mother-in-law used to walk there, and she used to take care of the two and the two around there. So and I understand that he paid the Spaniard that she was married to get her off of him, because he didn't want her no more, because he knew she wasn't no good.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yes, and she borrowed money from that's a long story. Borrowed money from my husband one time when she was running Honduras, and then she was so faced to come and give it to him back, in front of me out in the Foster countryside, and I take it and slap her with it, and I tell her, I say, this is the bitch you talking to, because she know no good. And I didn't even know nothing about it till she come about paying back, because my husband was on that broke, and didn't have nothing, and that's when he used to run on Dora and lend her money.
And so now he's trying to rewrite history.
Yes, and so faced it, and they used, both of them used to go, she had a daughter and a son to begin, they used to go to Bud Gordon preschool. I remember.
Okay. Because I remember.
I was telling somebody the other night, because I didn't know that he went on and lied about his cross. And then when I was telling the person about that, he won that debate. And I said he did not win it. I say he wasn't no better than him, nor Chris wasn't no better than Audrey. And then they say about that he said something about he bring out a statement saying about what? Something about some foolishness about he said he was confused or he was nervous or something. I said, well, confused or nervous to tell the truth. I said, well, then we don't need as people can get them lie about the qualification and try to make believe that they have what they don't have. We don't need them kind of people to run no country. He needs to the Baden, put the Baden back in Baden town where they belong. They're Baden and they're for Baden town. If we want to do anything else, we gotta get dog shit. Same thing we had before.
Thank you, honey child. Somebody said when you get bigoted, God knows how to humble you. This person laugh and they say, bigoted, I am effing done with you. But that word, honey child. Kendra Rankin and Heyman Rankin. Oh, she had 2 children. Lord Jesus, Jehovah. Take the bus now. Here, yeah, me only thought it was 1. You're bold. You're bold to have 2 children. You're almost as bold as my father, having 2 children, multiple children with a married. Oh, God, have mercy. Mercy, 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 mercy. Heyman, why you open this can of worms upon yourself? No, Bobo. And that poor woman, his wife, was taking care of these children. Somebody said they can remember her going to church with them. Yeah, she was a good woman, because I know it wouldn't be me. Look here now, Bobo. Hi. You make Marlon, he'll go and cheat on me and come with any outside children. Him and them children better hit the road, Jack, and don't come back. No more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. I know one thing. I mean, I'm not going to be mean, Tom, but I tell you what, you're not coming up under me, Tom, are we going to no friggin' church? The Lord would have to understand that not going to work. They can go to church on their own. No, sir. What it is me hearing yet today? This person says, you're going to make me lose my job today, man. I'm on the floor. Listen, I know how much his wife suffered with Vicky. He should have never said that. Yes, she is. She must have felt awful. Vicky was a home wrecker and made that woman's life hell. Oh, my God. But she was teaching him how to read. Are you serious? Read what? Read what? Must have been the love letters that she was antagonizing the man wife with. What he needed to read? No, sir. This one says, I'm saying that's what she was, and he gonna mention her and his dad at the shame of his other family. She mash up another marriage too and live with the man now. East End woman, husband she take. Oh, Jesus. Oh, so she like taking man then. She like a man that took. He already took, honey child. No, that's a special kind of mother. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be having too much to say about her if I were you. She take Merkel Rankin husband away. This is who she's married to now. When she was principal at East End Primary School and her children were going there and split up the marriage and she's married to him now. What the? You know, you can get your own man, girl. Wow. Yeah, don't talk about her no more. Don't mention her again. That was bad idea, Heyman. And at the same time, you're trying to insult Bigot. Bigot never need no help reading. Big shout out to Bigot this morning. That man accomplished a lot. Oh, Haman. And he actually gave y'all his last name? Well, you're lucky. Enough married man wouldn't have been able to do that. That's how I know. That is how I know that Miss Vicky, not Miss Vicky, what her name is, the next woman there. That is how I know she would have had to have been a good woman. Because you're not even getting the name, honey child. That was me. I'd be like, which name? You better keep your mama name. This person said that poor wife suffered with her. That they should be ashamed. Wow. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. 3 children for Biggie? No, they're saying he got 2. There was a 3rd one? Don't tell me that now. Come on now. Get it together. Oh, somebody said, yeah, she had another married man, but I think she divorced now. Lord Jesus, what a mess. Yeah, she got another married man, but I think he divorced now. His wife works HSA. You mean they're divorced, or he finally divorced the wife to marry her? Yeah, it looked like she married him. Wow. Marshall says Biggie had the ambition and his wife, Miss Ruth, had the brains. That's how they had such a successful business. People need to stop talking about stealing man and woman, because you can't take somebody who don't want to go with the person. Yes, but let me be clear, Siobhan. Some people are just home wreckers, you know. They purposely go after people that they know are not available. They like that kind of thing. She also take away that policeman best too from his wife. Say what? I tell you, some people like that, you know. Some people like a man who's married. But wow, that's a bit of a record. 4 or 5 of them? Lord Jesus. Lavana says, I came off the ship this morning. What did I walk into? I'm late. I will have to watch from the beginning. Honey child, I'm still on the radio, and I know you don't want to be part of this conversation.
Oh, sorry.
I'll call you later.
All right, sorry, bye.
Woo, honey child. Maybe he was simply brainwashed by his mother's insinuations. Very possible for a boy child. Yeah, but don't say it. Just keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. I mean, anybody can see that this Vicky woman, she don't look like she's right in the head. I'm just saying, she's a religious fanatic. So come on now. Take it easy. What a heat morning, Carla.
Yeah, because all of them had good wives. They wouldn't bust her ass like how I get that bitch that used to fool with my husband's Lion Sarah and Bob Muddy Bob. And it made that 1,000 people that bust her ass up in there one night. And I always said, the only
question I have is did that stop her from fooling with your husband?
Oh yeah. And she got out from teaching because her and this bitch were good friends too. I could give you a big history about her, but they were shipping backside. And I was telling them I wasn't Miss Ruth. And that one that I bought her ass for my husband, Miss Joy Barksdale, because after a couple of months ago when I went to help her that she was that sick, that she come down and she realized me, we were talking, and then she was remembering me with this whole piece of shit that I bust her ass, and she said, Michelle, I know that story. She said, you what about it? If I bust her ass up that night, because I told them I was going to give it to her.
Wow.
If I bust her, she got one bust in her head with a flamingo slipper that 2 sisters used to tell her every time she peeled her head open, she remember whoring with married man. But they do want their own man, that's it. I tell you, and about, well, if I was, that would mean I was still out there, but thank God I don't got that trouble no more. But that's there, and it wasn't for the man, for the respect, because I'm two-faced. I just was telling you, she had one child for that man, and then turned around, had the second one. Me, and both surname, this one got my husband's surname too, but he not that born in Miami, and I don't know how they could do that, but they say about wherever she gave, the hospital in the States is what they do. But I tell you one thing, and I tell him I wasn't recognizing him, and my son knows him as a brother, but my daughter say until her DNA is done, she don't care who they say look like who, she's not owning him as a brother.
What a mess. Thank you, honey child. Wow.
I bust their ass for the principal. But like I say, you're fooling with people's husband, but when you see people come out, stay, and all of her friends say she should have cooled down because I was out that night, and she was watching, chasing him, and seeing Buzz a tidbit well, who he was, what I call him, because he had went out on a spree for days, and the only person could have calmed him down when he was drunk was my husband and Mr. Darwin, and them had him watching him, and I bust her up right up in Lion Center, one big function in Marimba. It wasn't none.
Michelle, I got one joke for you. Somebody says, does this lady offer a bust their ass master class? In other words, can you teach people how to bust their ass?
Yeah, because when I was licking her, when I was punching her, Sandra, with my fist, it was bouncing off like them old tough bone headshot. And I say, you know something? I ain't using my fist on her, and I had one two heel stock slipper from two sister the brand was named Flamingo. I'll never forget it. It was green and white. I put it lime green, and I take that off. And when I conk on her head, the blood spoke. The blood, and I say, and then she holler, help, help. And I tell her, I say, oh, when you're chasing my husband that he's drunk and he grinding you in the car in the bush and all that, you don't need no help for that. I say, well, this come from him. And when I go and call her again, and one woman run out and come about one woman, and the next woman, because she went chasing him down the bathroom, and he went behind Buzzer, and I catch her right up, and then I put it on her. And Bonzi and Seabird tell husband, I didn't know your wife, because when they grabbed me, I railed in the air, and then she tell them, she said about that they were saying about I had hit her with beer bottle. I said, I wish I had a beer bottle, and I probably would have still been in jail, because I want to put that in her jugular. That slipper I put on her. And I tell her, it cost all that for that she crossed by Bill Ray. She take open her head and say, see where you went? And Bill Ray said, I got nothing to do with that. And I say, you should have tell her, come. You want to hold me, and then he say, because the rest of them were talking foolishness. He say, yeah, nobody. And I said, touch all of them concubines, and I call the names of her. I said, but tell them, come. If either one of them think that there's match for me tonight, and one I'll get to give her, I gotta give them a stick.
But you don't sound like you needed it. You sound like you needed.
All break up and
Hold
stuff.
on now. Sound like you needed to be popping his head. Yes, sir.
No, you know why? No, because she was one of these determined. Because people used to tell me, Miss Sandra, that it's not his fault.
Even Zeus came in the studio. He wanted Zeus too. Leave him, Miss Stacy. Zeus won't hear this, Zeus.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You know, some women are determined, Sandra. And he used to tell them, and she used to come up and to tell her to don't come up and and when I can call me when the same Hunter Walton, the Zena, Jim, they call her McKenna daughter, they had Pedro Castle. And one Jamaica girl she had working with her name Weena. And they tell me, they say, Shelma, you need to bust this bitch ass because she is determined. Because they say one evening she called Pedro Castle and he was out there. And they tell her that he wasn't there. And they say she must be right around the corner. And he got up, because they tell him, and he got up and went and hide in the bathroom, the man's bathroom, and she still come and went up in there. And her father run her from down by Delworth, I call it Delworth Station 40s, when he was working with Kurt Tibbetts and them down there. 3 something in the morning, her father run her from down there, and then she used to chase him pistol bar. Everybody tell me she determined. The man used to run from her. But if you're a man and woman trying to show the old daughter front up on you, and then you drunk up, you're not going to take it. So she was a bitch, so that's why I put it on her.
Oh, my God.
That's why I put it on her, but she was a determined bitch. Everybody used to tell me. She called her one night, me and him laying in the bed, and I answered her. She passed me a bitch.
I'm almost at a tea, but I get nothing.
You don't understand that my husband don't sleep on the roof of the house. And I sleep in the bed, me and him in the bed together, and he give me the phone to answer. Why you don't go look your own dick? Why you don't leave this one alone? This is taken. She was a fucking bitch, and then I rush her out Pedro Castle, but I never get her. I want to beat her ass up with my right.
Lord have mercy. No, man. We can't take no more. Miss Shelma?
And she's still afraid of me. And I still slurs her when I see her, but she's afraid of me like a puss.
Wow, I would be too. Thank you, Miss Shelma. Lord Jesus. My tea finished today. And I got no, taking the last little sip, you know. Miss Stacy can't complain that I left no tea untouched yet today. Oh my God. Say what? I almost spit out some tea just now. See that? Empty cup, honey child. The tea was full and it finished, you know. Lord Jehovah. What you saying, Michelle? My God. Wow. Roar says some women sit down and take bun, not Shelma. The 13 says this woman is my spirit animal. Risa said, not me. I not beating no woman for no man. They're not gonna disturb my peace like that. Hear you now, says Rourke, man. Shelma Shillings, 70s and 80s history bobo. What a mess. Leroy says, what kind of soap opera going on this morning, my dear? I can't even. Days of our Shelma, says Roy. Curtis, where you been? You were sitting there silently listening, mess with you. Oh my God. Shaka says, Miss Selma's a boss lady. No, man, these men got to do better. This is better than Jerry Springer, I got to tell you the truth. Allison says, yes, Miss Shelma was hot girl back in the day. Someone said, please give Michelle her own show. Oh, Risa says, women that go after married men are seriously insecure and need that validation to feel good about themselves. It's a sad way to live your life. And I think sometimes too, Risa, they don't want to worry about the commitment. Like they just want to hit it and run kind of deal. But, this one says, church, I was going to head straight to Fairbanks and pick out a cell when I done with him. Same woman that raised him on Christian values. Wow. Whoa. Bust the Ass Masterclass by Miss Shelma. Oh my God. This person said Miss Ruth needed Shelma in her life. She could have helped her navigate. This other person says, yes, Vicky was a determined terror. Lord have mercy. This person overseas says, tears are rolling down my cheeks. Yep, she married that Bayesian man, but that didn't last too long, but was trying to get the other married men jealous. Oh my God. All right. Today's lesson is don't open Pandora's box, Heyman, because we don't need to hear none of that. Gabby says back in the days, there's no cell phones and social media. Can only imagine the stuff that was going on. Listen, right, Miss Joyce, Sam? That's why I say, these older folks now, they won't be looking down on young people. Oh, these young people, so this and that. I said, hold on a second. Back in your day, y'all were doing that and then some. Let's just be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Y'all was sleeping with each other, man, and two sisters having children for the same man. All that was going on back in the day. So y'all not had no scruples either. It's just that back then you never had social media. And now that you're older and Christian, you can go to school now and study theology and walk around with a Bible and be trying to do exorcism on people's children. You forget where you coming from. You don't forget. All the married men and having the children outside with married men. Come on, girlfriend. No, sir. Crazy. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't believe in beating no woman for no man. Let me make this very clear. Sophia says makes no sense. Nope. Because it's not, I understand what she's saying, that some of these women are persistent, chasing after the man. But you can chase him all you want. If he's not interested, he's gonna put his foot down and say, listen, bitch, you better back up. I'm a married woman. I'm a married man. You back up, back it up, because this is not happening. Leave me alone. And then he'll come and tell you as the wife, and you're gonna look at her and say, Bobo, TD. My husband said to leave him alone. Try it again. Now, if she tried under those circumstances, well, I can understand, like Michelle must say, sometimes you might have to show him a little something. But I'm a non-violent person. Very peaceful. Honey child. Woo! Anyway, what a mess. Oh, Cayman. Welcome to the Cayman Islands. We are so messy. Wow. Some of y'all would have did well with the concept of concubines, because you can't have like one person. So, I guess the concubine situation might work for some of y'all Caymanians. I'm just saying. Anywho, I'll think about the picture situation. I have not made a decision yet. 81% of you saying to yes, include the pictures. I mean, I just hope that y'all understand, all jokes aside, that we can't elect morally bankrupt people, you know? So somebody says Michelle needs to go and take care of Mac and Saunders for us. Yeah, we can't elect morally bankrupt people and expect any better from them. So, you know, when you get on your candidate forms and stuff, be careful what Pandora's box you actually open. I mean, honest to God. Anyway, I hear people talking in my hallway and I hear Zeus barking at them. So I must have some workmen around the place. I am the owner of the water bottle. Okay. Which water bottle? Just checking my little messages. Hold on 1 second. What is the number to message? Just message me on my regular phone now. You got that number ready? All right. Anyway, GTC next on radio came out. Oh, that was last night. Okay. Anywho, tomorrow's show. Who do we have to come on tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Oh, before I let you go, did you guys see, finally, this is where y'all need to be thanking CMR. Do y'all see Mary Jean is being deported? Remember the Filipino thief? She is leaving Cayman. Can we get an applause? Where's my applause button?
Praise the Lord.
She is out of here. She's been stealing from people for years, having all these children, again, another one that we, and having, oh my gosh, that was the best news I heard yesterday. The magistrate gave her 3 months imprisonment. But you know what she said? We're not gonna waste no time feeding and clothing you for 3 months. Get back to the Philippines. She's gone, she's out of here. And the poor Filipino community, they're so glad because she was abusing them the most. So praise the Lord for that one. The gentleman in Honduras, I have a little bit of an update. Let me give you all this update very, very quickly. So I know that this man seems to be lost or something. And I don't know exactly what all the details are, but what I do know is someone who is connected and related to him said the family is now aware of his plight. I don't know if he went there and something happened to him, or I don't know all the details, but they are aware of his plight. So they are actually making some moves now to get him back safely to Cayman. So they said, hi, Sandy, we're the family to the Caymanian in Honduras and he's safe and we're in touch with him and we're working on getting him back home and in care. So be careful when you got your older folks traveling overseas and stuff. And, you know, especially older folks, because things can happen to them. They can have episodes, and so make sure they have someone who can take care of them. Roar says, yes, thank you. I worked hard on her case because, you know, one thing with the Filipino community is a lot of them don't want to come forward and go to the police. I don't know what's going on in the Philippines. They probably don't trust the police over there. And so I had to really encourage them. What she did to you, she stole your money. I mean, that's theft. That's obtaining property by deception. Go to the police. They're there to help you. You can trust them. Give the reports. And that's exactly you know, what they did. And now, thankfully, she's out of here. Now, she's got a daughter here who's following in her footsteps. Let me warn anybody. I don't care who you are, Caymanian, Filipino, anybody. You're here stealing and taking advantage of people, and CMR finds out about it. We're going to notify the police on you. We're going to get the authorities involved, and you'll have to answer to the law because you're hurting people. And she's hurting people that don't have the money. They're having to borrow money to try and come to Cayman. It's so wrong. So she's going to be tomorrow on that Panama flight, straight to the Philippines. Goodbye. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Mary Jean. All right, folks, that's all I got for you. Please have a lovely day. chamber forum, the next one, 7:15 p.m. I don't even know who's up next, but somebody. So make sure that you tune in. They start very promptly on time. They're not late, let me tell you. So we'll have it here as usual on our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And you guys have a wonderful day. And I'm going to go now and work on some of my editorials and continue my decluttering projects. See y'all tomorrow morning.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.